Heads, I blame you for what happened to my GoPro. Nick angry. Woot woot. Oat. Hi guys. Can Pastor withstand the power of Robot Lady? For sure not my amateur flying, I know that for 90 crew sure. I hope so. Are we raving tonight? I forgot my drugs. I'm super full cause I ate 9 slices of pizza and 2 soda cans. Hey. Ate 2 soda cans, ouch. And I don't know if I can drink some water.
Hello YouTube, Phat Pastor here.
Work it out. I will do a sound pack for his.
Yes.
If there's a lot of shenanigans, then that's probably something that I would really enjoy.
Keep flying and rise up and meet me in the air.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Tonight we have another episode of In the Loop. Tonight we have Phat Pastor. Some of you know him, some of you don't. You're going to know him tonight. For tonight, if you're not used to these In the Loop episodes, we do run with Robot Lady off to pay respect to our guest, give them the full attention. We also don't pay too much attention to chat. We will hit up chat at the end of the stream if you guys have any questions for the pastor, or if we hit a little lull in conversation, we want to grab some stuff from chat. That could happen as well. Without further ado, let me get over here to the Discord, and we will get in there with Pastor and OG. Enjoy. Okay, let me get some volume for you twos. Hello.
Hey.
Well, hello. It's finally happened. We're here.
It is.
We made it.
It is. No one abducted me.
Take two. Who?
Take two.
Well, firstly, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. You've always left the door wide open over on your stream for me. So the same is always welcome here.
All right, man. Thank you.
So anyways, we usually ask just how people got into FPV to start with. And I don't think I asked you that yet when I was on your stream. So I am curious, one, how you got in, and two, how long you've been in.
Well, I got in 1995.
Good lord.
Oh, wow.
1995, 1996
Jeez.
with airplanes, nitro airplanes. My first radio control was a Superstar 40.
Okay. I'm not familiar with
And,
those.
yeah, it's just a gas plane.
Okay.
I'm getting kind of a loop of my own voice. Is there something I need to do?
No, it's likely OG's mic picking up the sound
okay.
from the stream.
Okay. That's all right.
It happens.
It'll. Oh yeah. So that was my first one. Was a Nitro 40 size 4-channel airplane, and I flew that for 3 flights, crashed it, and
Never
And
made
when
it back
you
up in the air again?
no. It's actually still in my in the shed that you'll see in some of my videos in my backyard. It's still there. It's been rebuilt like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
But I kept it because it was my first. And of course, it's a balsa build, and when you crash them, it's
Yeah, it's
just a rebuild.
toothpicks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and I was into 3D planes, doing a lot of hovering and 3D acrobatics with airplanes. And
Okay.
then 7 years ago, I went in for an umbilical hernia surgery and sustained a traumatic head injury. I woke up with the whole side of my head all puffed up with
Oh
So
my.
you said,
optic nerve.
what did you go in for originally?
Just a hernia in my navel. Me and my brother, funny story
Wow.
with that. Well, I live in the country, and everybody up here, your water heater only lasts you about 10, 15 years on the well water that we have up here when it fills up with sediment.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to
Well,
replace it.
water's hard on it. Yeah.
And so I had so much sediment in it, and there's this lip about this big. And my brother is a plumber, but he's a little guy. I mean, he didn't get the fat gene like I did, and we just couldn't get out. So I'd have grabbed it and just manhandled it and lifted it up, like, get it in my belly. And I got it out, and sure enough, right in my umbilical cord where I had my, what's it called, your appendix taken out at 15,
Oh,
it popped out like a
Jeez.
golf ball.
whoa.
So yeah, and I have a handicapped daughter, and at that time I was helping my wife lift her in and out of the wheelchair all the time, and
Yeah.
so we just said, go in and get this thing fixed before it gets worse.
So just a
And
lot
that-
of heavy lifting and straining and all that, just like a normal kind of hernia.
Yeah, well, I popped it
Yeah.
out with lifting that
The hot water heater.
Yeah,
Man.
and
Oh,
then
God.
it was just an outpatient surgery, and I come out, and I can't show the pictures and all because it's litigation stuff, but that led to 18 months of seizures and I couldn't drive. I lost purposeful hand use, especially out of my left hand
Yeah.
and in my right hand some. So flying line of sight, I didn't have glasses before then.
Right.
And so flying line of sight was done. I couldn't do it anymore. And it was just, I was angry. I was mad at the world.
Yeah, I bet.
Imagine. Yeah.
If you've ever known anybody to have a traumatic brain injury, it's especially in men, and it was the case with me. Anger. I was very angry.
Yeah.
Still pastoring. So
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Hey.
It's amazing that they put up with me through all of that. I'm just telling you that they did it. Some great people. But so I'd lost the ability to fly line of sight, and just got so frustrated. Started selling everything. Sold all of my electrics. Every the ones you see hanging here are all replacements. And a friend of mine's like, "Hey man, don't get out of the hobby." He said, you need to try FPV. And I was like, no, I don't want to. It just makes me so mad
Yeah.
when I can't do something. Even today, if you notice when I talk, I say a lot, or talking was very hard for me for a while. And as a preacher, that was tough.
Yeah, that's a big part of the job.
So, so everything that started making me angry, I had a deacon who was a Vietnam veteran.
Okay.
And he would tell me, he's like, Marty, he was like, when pastor, he said, when something's making you mad, just turn the channel. He says, if you're watching a channel that makes you mad, turn the channel, quit doing it.
Yeah.
So every time I'd try to fly, it just made me so angry, man. I ripped planes apart and stuff like that, and slammed down radios.
Jeez.
I've got a Spectrum radio around here somewhere with a jacked up antenna where I threw it down on the driveway. and then stomped it. But I did.
Hey, now you're
And
talking
a friend-
OG's language now.
Hey, I have not done that to a radio, but I have watched Multi do that to a radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have, and then I have a friend of mine. His name's George, and if you see some of my earlier videos, you'll see Fat Pastor and McFlies
Okay.
on some of it, and he works in law enforcement, and but we were going to do some things together. He was the one that told me. He said, "You got to try FPV, Marty." He said, because left is always left
Yeah.
and right is always right. You know, if you're
Right.
flying line of sight, it's not that way.
It's always changing.
And
Yeah.
I just put on a set of ride along box goggles. Couldn't see very good, but could see it good enough.
Yeah.
And he flew a little Mantis.
Okay.
Happy Model Mantis.
I'm familiar with that one.
Oh, yeah.
Old model, but yeah, I'm familiar with it.
And that was the first FPV quad that I flew. Happy Model Mantis.
Okay.
And he crashed it, broke a prop, and then the third flight was the baby hawk, the white one.
Right.
Remember
Yeah.
the OG?
Yes.
I have it right up on the wall. My first FPV quad's right up there.
Oh,
I
that's
won't
funny.
get rid of it. So I flew that with him, and I was like, oh man, I'm hooked.
Oh yeah.
And so that, after therapy and getting my glasses right and learning, my brain rewired, I guess,
Yeah.
I'm now able to fly airplanes again. That was my last video, was me chasing an airplane.
Oh, that's incredible. So you came all the way full circle, all the way back to where you started.
I'm not doing 3D yet. I'm not good
Well,
enough yet.
you're getting there.
This Pitts, I would take it and touch its tail down in my driveway and then
Yeah.
take it back off.
Damn, yeah.
That's so cool.
But I'm not that good yet, but I'm just glad to be flying.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, if it's one thing that we've noticed consistently with all the guests that we've had on so far is with that first question, it almost always there's something in their life that they're dealing with, and then FPV comes along and they're like, oh, that's a great outlet, and then they just it kind of just turns things around for them. That's amazing though. It's great to hear another story like that.
That's why I do the rise up with FPV.
Oh, okay, yeah.
it-
I added that at the end of your intro. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw the intro of the stream just now, but
Yeah.
I make every guest an intro, and yeah, I added that. I loved it. I caught that at the end of one of your videos, and I was like, I love that.
Right.
That's a really
Yeah,
good,
that's
really
it.
good outro.
And that's where I do it, because it to me, I was one of these people, and I've learned this. I don't know if you guys have. You can tell me if you have. I ask people if they're interested in the hobby. When you were a kid, did you ever have dreams of flying?
Yeah.
That you could personally fly?
Yeah.
I did all the time
Yeah, yeah.
when I
Same.
was a kid. And actually, where I live now was a vacant lot, and over to one side of my house is where me and my family lived. We had a house there. It burnt down, and then my uncle lived on the other side. So as a boy, I would dream of flying over top of my uncle's trees in his front yard and coming through the vacant field, which is where I'm at now,
Yeah,
and landing over in my front yard.
Yeah.
And the first time I was able to do that with an FPV quad, I was like,
dream come true.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm hooked. That's why I got, I get the calls from people. I don't know, messages from people. I see you got many airplanes. I
Oh
see you
God,
got.
I get those all the
You
time.
send me one.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, let me think about that.
I'll get right back to you. So if we could jump back just for a moment, I didn't want to kill your stride there, but you had said you went in for the umbilical, it was the hernia, and then afterwards you said you had suffered a traumatic brain injury. I'm curious, what was the link between the two? Like, did you go in for surgery and?
Yeah, I still don't know. 7 years later, I still don't know for sure.
Wow.
The attorneys told me I probably would never know. I woke up, and because my wife stays home with my daughter, and my mother and my blind niece, who both live in the parsonage, which is the house that's technically my other house,
Okay.
for the church, and they were there. And when I come out, of course I'm coming out, they're willing me out of recovery. And of course, I remember them saying, "What's wrong with his eye?" And it's like, "Put some ice on it." And I'm literally come out, and they had a big thing. And my mom was like, "Oh my gosh!" And she just started taking pictures.
Yeah.
Because it was already up. My whole sclera on
Yeah.
the bottom was full of blood and was
That's
leaking.
crazy.
Wow.
And one person told me that
terrifying.
was in the operating room. Well, one person said that was in the operating room is that they were told that after they left that the surgical light from the ceiling fell and hit me.
What?
What?
Yeah, after the surgery was over,
Yeah.
the surgeon and stuff, the anesthesia, there was only a few, I guess, scrub nurses or something. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
But the attorney told me, he said, you'll never find, they will never admit to
Oh yeah, no.
what it was.
So they're just like, well, maybe he won't notice.
Well, actually, my mom said, what happened? And they said, it's allergic reaction to anesthesia. And my mom said, okay, if that's the case, what drugs?
Yeah.
And they left and come back, I kid you not, with a notebook, piece of white notebook paper with the blue lines like you use
It's like
in
a
school,
loose leaf paper.
with like 9 drugs. No, it had the little fringes on the end, like you tore it out of the tablet. And like
Oh my
9 drugs
God.
listed on it, handwritten. It's like, here. And she's like, oh, is there not anything? They're like, no. And they had told me that the day before that I had to pee. You know, when you wake up from surgery, you have to get up out of the bed and go pee before they can release you.
Yeah.
No, they were just like, when we asked for that, let's say, you're ready, you're go. They put me in a wheelchair and it's like, you go. And so I come home and I've got nurses and people in the family, and actually am through marriage related to the director of surgical services at that hospital, whom they later fired, who was on vacation and sent him a picture, and he's like, go to the emergency room now.
Yeah.
Went to the emergency room. The emergency room doctor was like, hey, I don't care what happened today. I want to see what happened now. She said blunt force trauma to my head, and the fluid around my brain, the pressure was real high.
Yeah.
And I was seeing double, like, not double visioned like this. It was literally like 2 people standing beside each other when they would talk, and it was bad.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
And then seizures. I never had seizures before. I had seizures.
Jeez.
Neurological episodes.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah, because they couldn't catch them on an EEG.
Mm-hmm.
I would just be talking to you, and everything would go white, just.
Oh.
And then
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that's what it seemed like to me. And it's like everything got real quiet, and like your ears filled up with like you went underwater.
Yeah.
And everything would close, but it was white, not black, and it's just like a whiteout. And then boom, and then the vision would come back from the center. And I think, oh, well, that's just a couple seconds. Some people are like, you were doing that for like 15 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, man. You were blue. You weren't even breathing.
Oh my
We were
goodness.
shaking you.
Yeah. Oh man, that's wild.
So I woke up one time and they was like shaking me in church, and there's people in line doing it with their, remember the bit from Airplane?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
And the boxer was sitting there warming up too. Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
A gun.
I
want my turn to slap him. But yeah.
I'm just still I was just gonna say, I'm just still like kind of flabbergasted that they just kind of brushed you out of there like you wouldn't get checked out and instantly be told it's blunt force trauma.
Yeah, there's a legal term for that called patient dumping. They do it all the time.
So it's like it's like a thing.
They try to get you out so that as little is said to you as possible, so nobody screws anything up.
Yeah. So they don't accidentally build a lawsuit against themselves.
Yeah.
They've already the deed was already done.
Yeah.
The damage was done to my head.
Right.
There was no fixing that.
Yeah, they just go into protect their own mode.
Yeah, but I could have pulled a Billy Mays and went home and died.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
goodness gracious. Well, that is a hell of a story to start with.
Cheerful.
Yeah, right. That's
Coming
okay.
out swinging.
We'll start there and we'll go upwards from here. It's fine.
Right. Yeah.
So you got into what was the year exactly when you got into the FPV side of things, not so much the RC airplanes and all? You said the first one you flew was a Mantis, so that wasn't. I mean, that was early, but
that's since we've been flying, right?
I feel like the Mantis had just come out or something when I started.
I think it was the Mantis. Green.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know for certain. But I do know that the baby hawk, the white baby hawk,
Yeah.
had come out, and I guess it was F3s. So I wasn't there for the multi-wee. I mean, I was in the hobby.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of Spectrum drones and stuff like that, and had seen the multi-wees and stuff at the flying field. But I was one of those airplane guys that was like, y'all can keep that. They don't fly good.
Right.
They don't fly good. Can you do this? Right over the runway with smoke coming out the back of it. Can you do that? And they're like, no. A hover. And there's some guys that had some wooden ones. Some wooden drones.
Oh yeah, Multi had.
Yeah,
we've heard about them.
Yeah,
Multi was in the hobby a lot longer than we were. I think he got in and he used to say it all the time. Was it 2014? I think.
No, it was earlier than that.
Was it earlier?
He got into it when they were ripping apart
the Wii controllers,
Nintendo Wii remotes.
Yeah,
and repurposing them. But he was like you. He grew up flying planes.
Yeah.
So he's been in it for.
Oh.
Yeah, I got my first airplane right after my wife and I got married. So we were married in 1994.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's a long time.
And before I ever flew it, she dropped a hammer through the wing.
Oh my goodness!
I had it hung up, and it was big. It was huge. It's a 5-foot wingspan on it.
Yeah.
And before I'd hung it up, I just had it set in our extra bedroom, and she was cleaning or something like that, and the hammer. I think I had it on the floor. The hammer hit the bed and bounced and just slow motion right over to the wing and knocked a hole in the wing.
Oh man. Yeah.
Couldn't have replicated that if you tried.
No.
So so let's go a little more recent then. When did you start your YouTube channel?
Oh Lord, I don't know. That's a good question.
Was it shortly after joining FPV? Was it before you even got into FPV? Was it after you were seasoned in FPV a little bit?
No, I wasn't seasoned, but I knew how to fly already. This might be a good intro into it. Once I'd gotten into FPV, the guy who'd gotten me into it, he's an elderly gentleman, and he didn't know enough.
Yeah.
So I joined Drone Camp's Patreon and Discord.
Oh, really?
Oh boy.
I did. And there I learned how to take care of a quad, and I was building this 7-inch. And
okay, I see it back there.
I was getting purposeful hand use, and I still now have what's called myoclonic jerks, which is my hand or my arm or something will jerk.
Yeah,
and that's part from the head injury. And I was trying to solder up a VTX, and my hand jerked, and a soldering iron went right in the USB port.
Oh.
With the solder all over it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys on there, the quad artist, he used to dip. I wish I had it here. It's at my office. I have a quad that he dipped in Star Wars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he would do the hydro dipping.
Right.
And so there was a bunch of us. He was on there, and he was like, hey, man, I don't live far from you. I live up in Kentucky. He said, send it to me, and I think I can probably replace the USB on it because it was big Maytech F7 thing on it. And I sent it to him, and he wasn't able to fix that, but he put a new flight controller on it for me and sent it back. And I didn't know.
What a guy!
He did that till after. Yeah. So at first I wasn't able to do a lot of the intricate soldering, and we had several of us had started on Tuesday nights, just having Discord chat on Drone Camp's Discord, and it just took off, man. It just blew up.
Yeah.
People were we were inviting people to it and all of that, and that's when Justin asked me to help run his Discord for him. So
Oh, okay. So you were in charge over there for a little bit?
Well, to help run.
Yeah.
Nobody was ever in charge but him and Banggood.
Banggood?
Oh yeah, I
What?
tell you, I've got the dirt, man.
Oh boy.
I'm not teasing. I don't like to. I don't like to gossip, so I follow everything up with bless his heart. So
Okay. I like that. That's a good move.
but
Oh my goodness.
you hear me say a lot, and I do say this a lot. I'm not that kind of pastor, because I'm not like most. There's a lot of pastors that don't care for me, because I'm the same person. I say crap on here, so I say it from the pulpit. I don't act any different. No
Okay.
different, And in church when I'm up teaching or helping somebody, counseling somebody, because I just want to help people.
Yeah.
That's what I do, and I have an aversion, a deep aversion, and I might explain it sometime, or if we have time, I can do it tonight. I have a deep aversion to liars. I do not like liars. My dad's family was full of them, and at a very young age, I began to just pull away from it. I just saw just horrific lies and just horrible people. And Jordan Peterson has an excellent video about psychology of faith, and he says if you pull away from darkness, you're in fact moving toward light. If you move up, you're moving away from down. If you go, if you move away from lies, then you're headed toward truth.
Right.
And and so I guess that's what led me to where I'm at today. Is I just don't have a whole lot of patience for lies and con artists.
You and me both. That's kind of where my thinking towards, at least in the matter of DC, that's where my thinking comes from as well. As the con artist side of it just really irks me, especially when what we try to do here is like let people that are getting into the hobby know where they're going to get tricked and where to avoid it, or where there's a crap product where they can avoid it. And with him, it was like every night that I watched any of his videos, I was like, what are you saying? Why are you telling people this is good? And then at the end, it's like, make sure to use my code. And there it is. Okay. So I slowly understood the man.
It just feels gross.
Yeah, it does.
Tacky. It's just tacky.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
And I didn't come on here to run anybody down, but I did tell Heads and you guys that I'll answer your questions. So I'm not gonna tell the whole story, and I'll answer the questions.
Okay.
So truthfully, and if people don't like it, then just go to my channel and unsub.
I was gonna say, I mean, if it's the truth, can you really not like it?
Yeah,
I guess there might be like one person that would be upset that I could think of by the truth.
Jack Nicholson said some people just can't. Well, he says you can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, you're right. So if we ask the question, you'll answer it.
Whatever it is.
Man. Do you have a lot of inside knowledge on like some of you don't have to say them because I'm not asking directly that, but do you have inside scoop on some of the scandalous things that he got into in that time?
Absolutely.
Really? So how involved? How many other people in the server were like running it or helping run it like you were?
Well, I know of 3, and if you'll go back early in my channel, you'll see Wingo Meetup.
Okay.
It's where we went to Wingo, Kentucky, and what that was is that was supposed to be. See, Justin was coming on, and he saw that, and like the quad artist, which is Patrick, I won't say his last name. He's not even flying right now. Owns a fish tank store near Mayfield.
Okay.
So where that tornado's come through.
Yeah.
But him and a guy named Carlos and Flying Sasquatch, several of us were kind of the Logan, who's the young man I was talking to you guys about in the waiting area, that he's gotten back into flying. He was there, and Logan can tell you some stories about Banggood, and Rudy. But anyway, yes, yes.
So you were privy to some of the
Well, what
goings-ons.
yeah, and I'll get squirrel off because of my head injury, and I have to. If you see, I'll look down here. I'm actually looking at something on my desk that will remind me to answer your question.
That's okay.
And
Yeah,
yes, there
whatever you
were
gotta
other
do.
people. There were other people
That were helping run
finding
it as well.
right, but I was more. I was more the mouthpiece because everybody was like, "Hey," and I was still just tidbit angry all the time anyway, and so the Discord was growing and people were coming left and right, and it started the first thing for me that was just like, whoa, I don't know that I want to be a part of this, was all of the giveaway non-giveaways.
Okay, well, since you've brought it up, I will ask for more details on that. What exactly is a giveaway, non-giveaway?
Well, he would advertise that on the Discord that he would be giving away a drone that was given to him, that someone sent him, that he would be giving it away, and all of that time I only know of one the one that he actually gave away, and it did cause a guy to come into the hobby.
Yeah.
But most of the time it was like, well, I'm going to do this drawing, and there was other people. I never won anything. He never told me that I won anything. But it was, it was never. He would say things like he'd just pop into the Discord and he'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to do this live with everybody that's on the Discord," because we'd have 15, 20, 30 people at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night on a Tuesday night, and we got 4 different voice channels open, talking people through how to fix their, their cameras and everything like that. And because it helped us. And so he saw that it was growing, and started saying, pushing it like, you join my Discord or join my Patreon. You can get on my Discord, and I'm going to do monthly giveaways. And in the year or longer, probably a year and a half that I was there, I only know of one quad that was actually delivered.
Really?
And most of the stuff was, you would see it, that he ended up putting a thing for a while on his channel where he just put them flat up for sale.
He still does. Yeah, I think he has his own shop now. It's like a side hustle.
It's so surprising that he doesn't get called on his shit more.
By whom?
Well,
by the community, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, we did.
I was going to say, he does get called on it quite a bit. I think the way that he deals with it, though, is he just says they're haters. We've heard him on stream say, like, well, I know people in the comments are just saying that they're just haters. They're saying, like, this isn't a real giveaway, or I'm not going to give this person whatever. And he says, like, oh, yeah, they're just haters. That's what some of those goofy sound clips that I have of him saying how he's humble and all this, but he just humble brags the whole time. It was like...
Yeah, I was DC Antifa. I think that's what Bergman just said. But yeah, there was. I remember. This is a little story I'll give you, extra you didn't ask about. I remember while we was on the channel, and I was already getting upset.
Yeah.
And I was messaging him in Discord messaging, just telling him, man, I can't keep doing this. He's like, all right, man, we'll rectify it next month. Next month, I promise it'll be a true giveaway. We're going to do it right. But I want you to push me, telling me, I want you to push on the Discord and go out there and tell everybody hang time. And I told him, like, why don't we do something like hang time? You'll see that on some of my stuff.
Yeah.
And he says, but I was like, hang times with Drone Camp's Discord members, not naming anybody.
Right.
And he's like, no, I want it hang time with Justin Davis.
Of course.
And I was like, you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your Discord.
Yeah.
It's your channel. You can do it, but I'm not going to do that. And
Did it snowball from there, or was that kind of the last straw from there, or you hung around for a little longer?
It just snowballed, and so we were going. A lot of us were on the East Coast, and of course he's out there on the West Coast.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to come out there to the East Coast, and I'm going to be with you guys, because I mean, it was me, and it was Tennessee, Kentucky, Michigan, Florida, Louisiana, Georgia.
Yeah.
These are all the people that were actually running the Discord.
Yeah.
Actually keeping it alive. And because, I mean, he would promise to come on and just never would. I mean, if he did, it would come on for 5 or 10 seconds. I remember he prompted up real big one night. It's like, I got a major announcement, all of this stuff. Y'all really going to love it. And he come on. He's like, here's what we're going to do. There's a new channel on the Discord over here, and it's called Banggood. And he had a guy named Rudy.
Uh-huh.
And he put him like as administrator in there. And he was just a sales guy. And what it was is he's like, I want you guys to buy from Rudy. And I was like, what? And we was already calling it Bang Bad and making all kinds of memes and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we tested him, and he come on and had the Diatone Rabbit 349. You remember that one?
I don't know.
It's
I'm
a
not
great
familiar with
little
that.
quad. It's a 3-inch. I had 4 of them at one time.
Oh, wow.
Because that was I did my first multi-GP race with it. It was that 3-inch that would go like 105 miles an hour.
I do remember hearing
Jesus.
about that one. That was right when I got in. I remember talking to Marty about it.
Yeah, and it was a good quad. And so he was like, he come on and he's in his voice like, I got code for you. I got code for you. I was like, well, okay, you got a code for me, but you'll have to put in your cart and check out. And I was like, no, I'm not putting nothing in my cart. And everybody else was like, how much is it?
Yeah.
And it depends on how many people click code.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, no, people are not going to click code until you tell us how much it is.
Yeah.
And it went, and of course, Logan, I think this time he's like 17, 18 years old, and he's like a meme ninja, and he's just like popping up regular memes of the U.S. bombing China and
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
people
Just
choking
shitposting,
Rudy,
yeah.
and it's all kinds of stuff, and it's just he's just throwing it out. He not know what go on.
Oh, God.
But I think it was $105 is what we ended up getting them for. I think we ordered like 10 of them, and it took forever to get. It was typical Banggood stuff,
Yeah.
And so that was, that was okay. So he come in. I mean, this was every Tuesday night. This guy would come in. We're trying to help people. He'd come in. I got code for you. What do you want now? And he started interrupting everything, and it was just all about, and we all knew it was all about Justin getting a kickback for how much stuff we bought.
Surely, yeah.
Yeah.
And
You don't facilitate that kind of like Discord chat and all that just for nothing.
And he was
being kind.
he was sitting at Banggood. He was one of the Banggood rep guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got this, and he's like, and I knew he was because there was stuff that wasn't listed yet. He's like, no, this not been listed. Here, I send you a link, and he would send us a link to the Discord, and we look at something that hadn't been listed yet.
Yeah.
And I think probably wasn't even approved to be sold yet, and he was trying to sell it to us. And I think some of the other guys bought some motors and stuff from him, but it never was a good deal like the Diatone Rabbit was.
Yeah.
And then it become more obvious that it was just
Kickback.
To
get a kickback.
It was all just, and then it interrupted. We got to where we couldn't even help people because every voice channel, we'd have 3 or 4 different voice channels. He'd pop in on every one of them.
Oh my
right
God.
When you're in the middle of telling somebody, okay,
Start tossing coupon codes
Betaflight,
out.
yeah, this is what you need to type in CLI, _ space. Make sure you put this. You need code. You need code.
That's so frustrating. Oh my God.
You need code for new flight controller.
Oh my God, man.
And I would get so angry. I would get angry.
Yeah,
like
drive me
breaking
nuts.
stuff, kind of angry. And Logan helped me through that all the time. He's like, Logan, I need some memes over here, buddy. and he'd come in and throw the links. But so he was like, I'm coming to, first it was going to be we have 9 acres across from the church. It's just an open field. If you saw the last video that I did where I'm flying around, you can see the field. So we talked about just everybody bringing their tents, and we was going to have a meet up there. And he's like, I'm coming there. I'll come to your church and everything. And, and all of this. And, I get a message and it's like, hey man, I'm from Oregon and everything. Will there be a problem if I bring any weed? And I'm like, yes. My church is in Kentucky,
Yeah.
for one. You know, it's not legal here.
Yeah, no, Kentucky
in
doesn't
Tennessee
play
or
with that
Kentucky.
stuff.
No, yeah, they're not
you go
about
to
it.
jail, you and Rudy too.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you smoke. I don't care what you drink and all that kind of stuff. But you just, you can't. And then another one of the guys who was one of the intricate guys in the group. He's was an alcoholic. Last I talked to him, he was in rehab, and he was like, "Man, let's do it somewhere else." He said, "Because I want to drink." And a couple other guys like, "Yeah, me too." And I was like, "Well, then just don't have it here."
Yeah.
So we had it at someone else's house, and it was like, "Oh yeah, I'm coming." And then we getting this all planned out, and then he starts telling us what to do. Well, this is what I want you to do. I want you to set up a race, and I want you to call, D-Rec, and I want to get D-Rec, who I think he does the support for Pyrodrome now,
Yeah.
which he's a great guy. I mean, he come on the Discord for a little while and was like, when the Rudy stuff was on, I could tell that he was like, I don't think I want to.
Yeah, wasn't about it.
Yeah, and because I think he was intricate in West Coast Throwdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and which they were thinking, okay, maybe an East Coast Throwdown kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it got to where it's like, this is what I need you to do, and I was like, man, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. What?
I don't know nothing about setting up no racetrack. I mean, I wasn't racing at all then. And and I want this person and this person, and it's like, wait, this is at Patrick's house.
Yeah.
And so and I sent him a message. I don't remember what it's probably kind of rude, I would say. Because of just the frustration that I was having, but the messages were in Patreon. It wasn't where other people on the Discord could see it,
right?
Because I always respected the fact that, hey, it's his Discord.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was his page and all of that, and I didn't have to stay. And so I told him, I was like, you know what, we got there at Patrick's and everything, and I didn't talk on the Discord. I did not run him down on the Discord, which he said I did. But that's why I feel okay with doing it now.
So, but by you saying, by you saying that, he thinks that you did. So was there you guys left off on Bad Blood, I'm assuming then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took when we showed up at Wingo, I didn't even make the what was called the Lost Squad, which we call it FPV Freaks now.
Mm-hmm.
Splat Kitty was one of the guys. He was like an IT guy. He put it together there, and he's like, you know what? Let's just leave.
Yeah.
Let's just leave, and just this crap. It's and we'll let people come. We'll invite everybody to come. We'll help them. We'll do all this stuff, and it's free.
Yeah.
And we'll charge anybody anything. All of us were working. We worked. And not that doing this as a living is a bad thing, but we all had jobs. So
we had other stuff to do.
Yeah, we wasn't looking to profit from it, and so we formed the Lost Squad, and like over half immediately just dumped over. Now some stayed, several people stayed because I didn't, because he was like, I think you should go and everything, and I'm like, all right, I'll go and everything, and I think he come on and was like, yeah, I've blocked Marty and everything, and then said something along like, but I can't believe he even canceled his Patreon.
What? Yeah, what did you expect? What?
You kicked me out. Well, I'm gonna keep paying you $5 a month.
Yeah.
Because I'm just dumb. No.
So man, that's
so
crazy.
We started that.
So
and
how long ago was this when you left?
About this long. I don't remember, man. I'm not good at dates and times.
I'd say a ballpark it like a year ago.
Oh no, longer than that.
Longer than a year. Okay.
Yeah. It's probably been. It's before COVID. Well before COVID.
Okay. Wow.
All right. If you go back on my channel, which I don't want to. I do everything off my laptop, so it's kind of. If you see when the Wingo stuff happened,
mm-hmm.
If you see my videos that say Wingo,
yeah,
meetup, I'm done. I'm done with it then. I didn't go back to drone camps after that. Now I had several people that did and said he tried to come on and say that, he give me this or that, or some of the quads that were supposed to be given away or whatever. It was,
So
some
bribe
of
you,
my doings.
basically.
Yeah, and that's just. Let me know if you. I just turned a fan on. 'Cause
No, you're
it's a little
fine.
hot.
Yeah, you're
If
good.
that picks up, I'll shut it off.
You're good.
So,
Oh wow, yeah, almost 3 years or 4 years to the day. It was July 16th, 2019 is the Wingo
Yeah.
meetup video.
yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
So yeah,
Wow.
That was
4
when we-
years, yeah.
Man,
when we
4
formed-
years and ain't shit changed.
No, he's
Oh God,
the DSP of FPV, man, just
Oh,
being a
back
piece.
Back then, his wife was a doctor. I think she was like a Pete the Electrician or something.
And he's
that's
still
his,
out here.
That's his ex-wife, right?
His ex-wife.
Yeah.
They had a daughter, and I mean, this was not stuff he shared out, to a lot of people. I'm just conversating with him on Discord and everything. And
Yeah.
right before we all went to Wingo, as he said it in one of his videos, said that he was longboarding, I think with electric longboard, and somebody had stretched a wire across the path,
Yeah.
and it almost hit him in the neck. And I think he
my
had on
God.
like his helmet or something like that, and it knocked him off the board. And he was like, "Man, I think somebody was trying to kill me and stuff." And
It's probably somebody who did
I
get one of
don't-
those giveaway quads.
yeah, I don't know if it was. I don't think this was Logan. I don't think it was, but somebody had made up a meme, and it was a real fat guy, and they kind of had Fat Pastor, and it was like a meme of him stringing up the wire over the thing, and so that got around that, was it Fat Pastor that tried to kill me? It's like, man, I ain't even been to Oregon.
Goofball. So after you get out of there, I assume you just cease contact with him after that. That was just the end of it.
Just cease and desist.
Man. I'd love to ask you more about it. I don't want to harp on him too long, though. He doesn't deserve any of our time for too long. But yeah, it is interesting. I am still interested in the story of how you got to that point where you were so fed up, where that many people were willing to just be like, yeah, all right, we're out too. Like we'll leave as well.
Well, it was just so much. So many lies. It was just lie after lie. Like, oh, I'm gonna be there. Listen, and it would be things he'd come on for like rare, but like 2-3 minutes, and he'd be like, all right, next Friday night, 8 p.m. I want all of you guys here and everything. We're gonna do something, and people would actually, work their schedule around it, and he wouldn't show up.
You're talking about show up in Discord, like he promised to show up in Discord,
And he just wouldn't show up.
Like the hang time with Justin Davis.
Yeah.
It never happened.
Now, would you hear anything from him that night, or would it be like would he come in
Just
with like an
ghost you?
excuse right away, or would he just ghost you and then the next day be like, "Oh man, it was crazy"? Like,
Yeah. I think a lot of it was mostly that. I think he might have had an excuse or two, because I'm not talking. This is not 1 or 2 times. It's a lot of stuff. And then I'm going to give away this quad and this and and it would just never happen. And noobs would come on and they'd be like, man, I've signed up for his Discord because he's giving away this, whatever.
Yeah.
Baby Hawk, ready to fly thing with goggles and everything, and that's the only one I know he gave away was the Tiny Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
With the goggles and the little cheaper,
The little
remote. That
ready
was
to fly kit.
The first one they come out with.
Yeah.
He gave that to a guy. I ended up developing a friendship with that guy for a little while, and that got him into the hobby. That's the only one I know of. And people would see it. We would see it, and some of the guys were paying him $30-$40 a month.
Good
Lord.
That's insane. That's
on
insane.
On their Patreon.
Lord,
And like when I won't say any names, but one of the main guys that set up. See, I wasn't even a administrator on the Lost Quad, which is what it was called, because I was like, guys, I really just I'm done with him, and I'll go and I'll answer questions and everything. But I don't want to be accused of, of a coup, of pulling everybody away, because
Right.
everybody was like, "Man, we're going with you.
Yeah.
We're going
Yeah,
with you."
you just trying to stay out of the drama. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to kick the guy when he's down, and so yeah, so imagine, if you will, for 4 years. I just had to, and being adverse to anger, I had to like totally just almost block his stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd see a video, it'd pop up in my feed, as a recommendation, and I'd get mad. I'd be like, "Best 6-inch quad ever." It's like, Eoshin Wizard. It's like, no. The best ever was last month.
I was going to say, it's those January videos where the title is Best Quad of the Year. Those are my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I love those. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Best Quad of 2023, posted January 21st, 2023.
And another
Nice.
thing that bothered a lot of the other guys, like some of the older guys that were much better at building at that time than I was.
Yeah.
Like the quad artist. I mean, some of his stuff, man, was just amazing looking. He built an Iron Man quad. Looked like Iron Man.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, he dipped it and painting he was literally an artist with it.
Yeah.
And but Justin would come on, and these guys that were, real humble guys. I mean, I'll tell you about sending some stuff to the Philippines.
Very humble.
They would be in the process, in Silos, which was a guy from Michigan. He'd be in the process of trying to help someone flash their R9. He was the R9 guy.
Yeah.
I was Crossfire. Like you need to see Silos.
Yeah.
And he'd be in the middle of helping them with that, and he'd come in like, "No, that's not what you need to do. I've got 20 something years plus, blah blah blah, and this and that," and tell him wrong. And then he'd leave, and we were left,
Cleaning up the pieces there.
Yeah.
Some of the people began to say he was like the Tasmanian devil. He'd blow in and go, "Pew, pew, pew, pew," and everything would fly. And then when the dust cleared, we'd have to pick up the parts and try to help somebody get their quad going, and that's what it was like. And so
So
yeah.
do you still talk to any of those folks that you left his server with? You guys remain friends as well?
Yes.
So there was obviously a common problem.
Personal friends.
If you guys are still friends and there's a one person missing from that friend group, there was obviously obviously there was a common issue. Yeah,
the Flying Sasquatch, he used to work in a job where he'd travel all around, and when he'd come to Nashville, this area, we'd meet and we'd fly, and I've drove back up to the quad artist's house. He lives about 2 hours away from me.
Yeah,
and these guys they're just friends of mine. They're good. They're great guys.
Oh, that's great. That's good. I mean, at least you get something good coming out of it. That's
now a lot of them's not flying anymore. They've just gone on to different things. And, matter of fact, the quad artist was like, "Hey, Marty, you need to come up here sometime this summer, June, July." I'm trying to set it up with him because he's like, "I got a storage building full of my quad art that I can just give you, and you can give it away on your channel." Like
artwork that he made, like quad
running quads.
Yeah.
Captain America quad, a Hulk quad. I mean, that's dipped in it, and it's all green.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just. I wished I had it, but I just put it up on a stand in my office. He made me a Darth Vader quad.
Mm-hmm.
I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but right there, it's 2 lightsabers on my wall.
Oh, okay, I see them.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a nerd. I play the guitar.
Hey, that's all right.
So, and but he dipped it in Imperial logos, and everything's painted red and dipped, and the motors match and the props match, and it's got red LEDs, and
awesome.
We set up my radio on the Discord that whenever it had the old QX9, is that what it was? The FR Sky.
That sounds familiar. The name
like,
sounds familiar.
like the QX7, but it's the 9.
Yeah. Just larger.
That looked like the, what's it called? Carbon fiber. Yeah. So we set up that model that whenever you flipped it on, it would. It had all kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
You know, and when you went into like acro mode, it's like the force is strong with this one or whatever. You know, it was pretty cool. And somebody bought that radio off of me just because I had all of those sounds on it. I was already flying Crossfire most of the time by then. Somebody was like, they offered me like a crazy amount of money, $300 something for it on.
Wow.
On RC Group, and I'm like, sold.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
no hesitation there.
Because I've only flown the Vader quad twice.
Real. Well, yeah, it's a piece of art. I guess you're not going to fly it very often. I wouldn't want to either.
No, it's too pretty.
Does he have any of his stuff listed online?
No.
Not really.
He, the tornado that went through Mayfield, Kentucky, went about 2 miles from his house, and something ended up, they were going to build or something ended up happening. The house that they were leasing or whatever, the lease come up, and they end up getting an apartment. And he's like, I just put most of my stuff in storage. And he's like, I got a few things out. And he's like, man, I'm supposed to meet with him sometime, and we're supposed to go up to flight test. We're both founding members of Edgewater Park.
Oh, no kidding.
And
wow.
And I want, until this video that I just did, I had never chased an airplane with my quad, because there's just the people around me that fly planes don't want anything to do with people that fly drones.
Yeah.
And except for a few people, and they're busy all the time. So I was like, man, we just got to go up there. I will bring my pits or something. He's got tons of planes too, and he's like, no, I'll bring my planes. You can chase me all day long. So, yeah, we'll still do that. And,
okay. Well, if you end up grabbing any of his quads and you're trying to get rid of them, let me know.
All right.
I might be interested, especially in that Captain America one.
Okay. All right.
That'd make a nice background piece.
Yeah, seriously.
If you have Instagram, I don't know if he's still on there, but if I don't know how Instagram works. I'm not good at social media. See there, my words don't come out right all the time.
It happens.
Slip of the tongue, man. Slip of the
tongue. But I don't know if you can still go like old videos like you can on YouTube. But I think he did a lot of stuff on Instagram.
Okay.
He put the stuff on there, and it's just the quad artist. Let me see. I
have to keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, see. I don't know if you can see right here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, so KWAD.
Yeah,
the quad artist. Okay.
Yeah, and that's flying Sasquatch.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah, this is all from the time that, that was my first battery vault. 50 cal ammo case.
Oh yeah. Safe bet.
Yeah, great guys.
Well, that's good to know, at least that you maintain some friendships out of it, and long-lasting ones. It sounds like as well.
And Logan was he co-hosted one time, and Casey was sick or something, or in timeout. I don't remember which one. I'm joking. But Logan co-hosts. He's gotten back into flying. He's a great young man.
Well, good. Speaking of a great young man, your on and off again co-host, Casey.
Yes.
How did you meet Casey? I was interested. I actually meant to ask you that when I was on your podcast, and I just completely forgot.
I don't see. My long-term memory is better than my short-term memory. It was either on Ciati's stream or Marcel off Axis.
Okay.
I'm a patron to a lot of people, and that I don't get on and chat. Usually I work up till about 10 o'clock at night, and I come home and I don't go to bed till about 2:30, sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning before I actually go to sleep. That's just, I sleep about 3 hours.
Me too.
But, I used to sleep a lot longer before my head injury. I love to sleep, but what question was I answering? Just lost it.
How you met Casey?
About Casey, yeah, about how you met Casey.
Yeah, I was on a lot of discords or I lurk.
Yeah.
Even if I watch him live, I'm usually lurking. And he'd come on and he's like, "Hey, I need some help with this and this and this." And Bardwell has given me I think it was the Tiny Hawk.
Had given Casey a Tiny Hawk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the goggles and everything, because he didn't have anything. And he starts telling a story that he was beat within an inch of his life with a 4x4 from his.
Oh my
turned
God.
out to be his cousin.
Casey was.
Yes.
Oh wow.
He was just about killed, and it was. I mean, you can look it up in the paper and everything. I mean, the guy's in prison, and
Jesus.
he's telling this story, and and he's typing, and I was like, hey, I don't remember if it was. I told him to jump over on the Discord. It might have been. So, and I think I voice chatted with him on the Discord, and he's like, man, and he's like, I just need a break and all this kind of, which I've heard. If you've been in this hobby anytime, you hear that all the time.
An FPV break?
Yeah, right. And,
yeah.
And in my business, what I do is like, oh man, I just need a break, and I just need a hand up, and I don't mind, and I tell people I don't mind giving a hand up. I don't like giving a hand out.
Yeah, that's a good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
But I am, I'm a sucker for the lost puppy and stuff like that. The underdog, always have been, and my channel has always just been about, FPV helped me, and so here was this young man who was struggling, who was beaten literally within an inch of his life, and got
scary.
More stitches than Buford Pusser.
Ugh.
And literally, and so I was like, yeah, you know what? And he was like, I live near Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that's about 2.5 hours from me.
Okay.
And I was like, well, you know what? I said, I think I can help you. And so we started talking, and I sent him a bunch of stuff, and Casey's been he's been a help to me and the channel. It's also been a lot of work, and
sure.
like anybody has struggles and all of that, and he was, he has some health issues and some emotional issues and stuff that stems from, you get somebody trying to murder you with a 4x4.
Yeah.
And you look up and it's your cousin.
Yeah.
And when he's, I think the story goes that he was trying to buy an RV.
Yeah.
And the people had it listed, and he'd done beat an old woman who'd come to look at the RV, was going to buy it, and he beat her with like a mop handle or something and took her money. So his MO was he'd wait out in the woods for people to show up and look at this RV, and then he'd jump out and rob them and beat them. And, luckily Casey said, he's like, hey, it's me. And the guy was jacked up on something, and recognized that it was him. And he was able to crawl off into a bush and call somebody to come and pick him up. And while he was waiting for the ride, the guy comes back with a gun. And
this is after he knew that it was his cousin he was doing this to.
Yes, yeah. They believe he was coming to finish it all.
Yeah.
So,
Jesus. I didn't know all that.
I could see how that could cause some trauma, though.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, no
kidding. Yeah.
And he's come over to and stayed, at the parsonage, and he actually camped in the church for a little while when we was doing a race. And I've seen that the guy does take more pills than you eat jelly beans on a good night.
Shit.
And so I of course, one of my friends, I got friends in law enforcement and stuff. In case he first come on, I think you even made a comment to it. He'll be down and he's like,
it was the you know what it was, and I feel so bad about it now, but
he does it though.
But now that it's cleared up, I don't feel as bad. But I felt horrible about it when I first realized that he had heard it, and I guess somebody else had said something else. I don't even remember what it was, but he was conflating, thinking that I said both things, and I had no idea what the other thing was. I was like, I have no idea.
Oh, I remember. Yeah,
But what it was is when I watched, I tuned into your stream to watch, and And he normally he looks tired normally or whatever, but he was leaning down to hit his vape. But I didn't know it was a vape. He was just going off camera, and then he'd come back up and go and like blow smoke out. I was like, is this guy just smoking weed on stream?
Well, and there are times that because he's got like his spleen is gone and half of his pancreas. He's got stitches all over.
Yeah.
And I suffer from chronic kidney stones. I pass anywhere from about 2 kidney stones. It averages about 2 kidney stones a week.
A week?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yo, Marty is a pussy.
Yeah, right. Marty gets like 2 or 3 a year.
Yeah, and he's always crying about it.
Maybe 4. Yeah.
I passed
2 a week.
When we were setting up for the global qualifier. I passed 5 and 6 days.
Oh my God!
It was horrible. So I know I'm a pastor, and there's time. I mean, kidneys. People are like, oh man, my sister's like, I had 3 kids natural, 1 kidney stone. Never let me have another kidney stone.
I've heard similar. Yeah.
I've had some that hurt like a toothache.
Yeah.
And I've had some that hurt like a broken bone.
Yeah.
And then I've literally had hundreds that I honestly think I could take a pocket knife and cut my side open and reach in, grab the stone and pull it out. And I've literally prayed for death before.
God.
I've been like, God, if this pain don't go away, just let me die.
Yeah.
Just let me die. So
jeez.
I have pain medication, and if it gets bad, I will take the pain medication. So I told myself, like, man, you've been beat half to death.
Yeah.
If you're hurting and you're on the stream and you need to take something, just let me know. And if it gets bad, I'll be like, hey, I'll send you a private, because I use StreamYard, so I can send a message to him. Yeah. And I'll be like, hey, bro, you just you're coming across jacked up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. There's times that he is jacked up, but
sure. Hey man, we're all only human. Yep. And I made it clear to him, and I wanted to make sure that it was clear that when I made the comment about him on your stream, it was literally just me being me. Like, that's just kind of how I am. I'm very observational comedy, and I didn't mean anything by it. I didn't mean anything malicious by it.
I think what happened with it, what was kind of a stacking thing, because like I said, I have friends that are still in law enforcement.
Yeah.
Today, and there's a lot of people that go to my church and friends of mine that are in law enforcement that they don't have a YouTube account, but they watch.
Right.
So they can't sub because they don't have an account.
Yeah.
And all of this, but this particular person who's they were like, man, that guy right there, he's a druggie. You need to get him off your channel. It's going to run people away because he's sitting there hiding a kite, and then you're sitting here trying to tell people that you want to help them with their stuff, and he's like, and there's been times that he was like that, but it was, and I talked to him, and I think it was, I probably would have been jacked up too. And
I can guarantee you I would have been,
So, that's one thing that some people would call it one of my flaws, is because I don't like phony.
Yeah.
I just deal with something. Boom. Like, hey, this is what's going on. I got friends. I got people are telling me, that this is what it looks like, and we got to do something about it. And he was like, okay, all right. And so we got things set up in with it. So like, if you're ever watching and he jumps off or whatever, or something like that, he's probably in pain or something like that. And
well, that's good to know. I didn't know all of that. I had no idea until you just said something about as far as like the beating and all that stuff. That's insane. But no, I love Casey. Especially after talking to him, coming on your show, I think Casey's a great guy, and he's a lot of fun to talk to. He's a great co-host for you too. You guys bounce off of each other really well, and have like a good chemistry together. So it makes the show more easier to watch.
Like I finally got what I wanted. It's like, I want the baby. You keep your money. I want the baby. I want my baby back. In my belly.
So Casey's been. So you met him through that. I'm trying to remember. I got a DM from somebody. I don't remember who it was now. I have to go back and look, but I got a DM. I think it was on Discord, and they introduced themselves. They were very polite, and they had just said this was the night after I had made the remark about Casey, the joke about Casey, and that he had said it sounded like it was like you were just saying there was two things that were conflating, and he thought I had said both of them. Where it was like somebody said that he was a druggie and he was using you and using the flight group and all that stuff.
Right.
And I remember getting the message from the guy, and I was like, hey, it's nice to meet you. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, I don't know who that group is. I just figured out who Casey was last night. Like, I don't know any of this stuff.
I think that was probably Team Relentless, and
it was Team Relentless.
Drone Poison. Yeah, he's friends with them, and I think Greg, Drone Poison, has tried. He's actually sent Casey a Success 5-inch quad. I pretty much do micros, and I think that I don't know if he heard it or what, but Casey was like, Team Relentless didn't like it, and I was like, well, man, I'm just dealing with what's on my channel,
right? Yeah,
and I didn't think I saw it. I went back after he said something. I went back and looked at it. I didn't think it was anything bad. I know you're like I am.
Yeah,
I'm a nut.
Yeah,
and if you can't handle my jokes and you can't handle the satire, then it's probably not the channel to be on.
Right. Yeah.
We're always talking trash. That's trash.
Right.
Yeah, even to each other.
It's nonstop.
Yeah. I mean, I even tell Casey he has Caseyisms. Casey, his synonym is his favorite spice. So. But he's a good
I like that.
He is, yeah, he is.
A good sport about it.
No, he's great. I think like I said, I think he's a perfect match for you on your show because he's not like overly talkative, but when you need him for conversation, I mean, he's just right there and
the guy knows Betaflight pretty good, so a lot better than I do.
Okay.
And so he's helped a few people out, but I told him he's new to the hobby, he's new to FPV, and he was in camera drones.
Okay.
And when he come in, he just saturated. I mean, sitting in the hospital, I think he's laying in the hospital a lot, watching YouTube videos, and decided he's just going to, saturate his, his mind with Betaflight and learned it inside and out. And I think that was like 3.0 or something like that.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I told him when he come on the channel, I was like, hey man, don't be so quick to say, definitively what the problem is, because, I deal mostly in micros and stuff. And you were talking about that on your stream the other night. It's with your motors. I think it was.
Yeah.
It was like, this is, I got the Mob 8 and I've got Express LRS problems.
Really?
It fail safes. It went from 66 dBi to negative 130 at like in a second, and 50 yards away, and it fail safes. Does it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with Happy Model on that. So and I told him, I was like, man, I deal with a lot of micros. You can't say, oh, it's definitely a flight controller.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like some people, if they can't figure out the tune, it's like my ESC crap the bed. And, or it's got to be a motor, or
Yeah.
When hey, wait, you changed 11 things.
Yeah.
I'm not great at Betaflight, but I mean, back at 3.5.7, I could tune. And when I was having a problem, you change one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
But you change 11, and then it flies away. Oh, my ESC crap the bed.
Yeah.
You crap the bed. And you blame it on Happy Model. So
when all else fails, blame the equipment.
Yeah. So now with 4.4 and all these issues, he come to me. The last time we was over, he was like, "Man, you're right." I was like, "Well," I said, "even the Betaflight devs don't agree."
Yeah. Yeah.
The guys who write the code don't agree with what the problems are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's always just hit or miss.
Suppose that we know more. So.
Right. Yeah. It's always just it's hit or miss. It's always a problem solving. It's a whole fiasco every time you have an issue. It's never just one. It can never be that easy. That's just not how FPV works. It's always more complicated than it needs to be.
What's up, Double A?
Hmm?
I had to shout out to. I just saw the name in the chat.
Oh,
there.
Okay.
I'm trying to look every now and then. So I'm gonna try to make it to IO for a couple of days.
I want to go to IO so bad. I haven't been able to go yet.
I had saved up money, and I'm not gonna go a whole lot because he said he let the cat out of the bag, but I'd saved up money to go, and someone hit the door on my Jeep with my 0-turn mower and sprung it up, and I had to have a whole new door. Just had that put on yesterday. And
Oh, no.
Right at $600 and all of that stuff, and it was cheaper than what I thought, though.
I was going to say $1,600 for a full replacement of a door that's not bad. You said $600?
$600
painted.
The dealership wanted. I found one. I have a Jeep Patriot. It's black,
Mm-hmm.
and I found one that was hour and a half from me, and it was what they called insurance quality, which means nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So they just took it off, but the dealership wanted $1,100 for one that was primer gray.
Yeah.
No trim, no chrome, no
Yep.
nothing on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, if we go this route, you're looking $1,200 to $2,000.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I wanted $1,100 just for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds more accurate. But if you're getting one off of a pre-existing and it's already dressed and got all the wiring harness in it, there's a lot less labor that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. Who hit your car?
Well, I don't.
Said it was somebody.
It was somebody on my stream, and they admitted to it. Well, it was Casey. He's on the stream. He did it, and you know that's why I said we've had our ups and downs. He tried to hide it from me. Bless his heart. He did.
Bless his heart. We know what that means.
For a little while, we're past that, but he kind of shut the door and everything, and I was like, "Man, you got to tell me the truth. You got to. I don't like lies. You got to tell me the truth."
Yeah.
Did you notice my door did not shut right after you may have hit it? And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry."
Have you seen the Chris Farley David Spade movie Tommy Boy? Where he knocks his door off at the gas station, and he puts it back on when David Spade's open. He goes, "What'd you do?"
Yeah.
That sound reminded me
when
of
he
that.
hits him with the 2x4.
Yeah.
He's like, "Did it leave a mark?" No. Really, it's like right in here.
It's
like
right
big
here. Yeah.
It's like, man, it goes when I close it.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it always did that. Maybe.
It's like, yeah, but you know, that's what it's part of being in a relationship with people. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
sure. OG broke a lot of my shit.
I just,
Just a few things.
He's
Just
like,
a couple.
He's like, I'm not used to being around people like that. He's the people that I usually hang around with would beat me up for doing something like that.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I said, if you'd have told me, it would have been my fault for letting you drive my 0-turn mower.
True.
But
yeah.
When you tried to hide it, that makes me question everything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a good way to build a relationship or maintain a
Nope.
friendship.
No. But
No, I had
you
this.
know,
I had this nice, beautiful glass, thing. We don't need to get into what it was, but it was glass, and it was brand new, that my wife had gotten me, and there was some ashes in it, which I don't know how that happened either. But OG was trying to clean it out and held it by the stem and just banged it up against a piece of wood. and then when it broke, he looked at me like, "Why did it break?" Like, well,
It didn't fully broke. It just broke the little handle thing off.
It snapped the stem off. Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I've done the exact same thing. I'm just a clumsy person. I break my own stuff too. But I've broken. I was helping him move, and I just destroyed a shoe rack.
Yeah. The shoe rack too, man. Yeah.
He still got. I say destroyed, but it's still literally in your garage.
Well, I had to wind a couple screws through it to reinforce it from where it broke.
And now it's better than it ever was. So I kind of did you a favor.
Sturdy now, yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank
well,
you.
fortunate for your relationship, he didn't try to like put it back together and set it over in the shelf.
True. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also both happened right in front of me, though.
Yeah.
And then when you pick it up, it like cuts you, and it's like, hey,
How did that happen?
what do you mean?
He's like, I don't know. I guess your wife bought a piece of crap. You better return it. Get your
Yeah.
money back.
Worst-
I guess.
Worst part is
there something wrong with your glass thingy?
yeah. Worst part is
when I accidentally banged it up against the wood.
well, you know, the ashes were there, need to be there, and you know,
He was just trying to clean up, wasn't he?
just trying to be a courteous.
And to his credit, he was mowing. He was mowing the field. So,
well, that's good.
stuff happens. Stuff happens. So
How much?
we moved past that.
Speaking of field, how much was that at your house? That was at the church.
No, yeah, right across the street from the church, we have 9 acres.
Yeah, that's right.
Gun
You were talking
range.
about that. Okay.
Yeah, got a gun range that sits down in the valley.
You got a gun range too?
Yeah, we
Right
do.
across the street from your
Yeah.
church.
It's part of our church.
God bless
Beautiful.
America.
Oh,
Man, I
my
want to
God.
attend your church.
Yeah, right.
We're not like we're not like a lot of other churches.
Hey, that's what I'm looking for. I think I was never cut for church. I think for the run of the mill church, I always felt out of
Right.
place.
Yeah, me neither.
But I grew up Irish Catholic, so I was forced to go to church until my grandmother died, and then my dad was like, "Well, Grandma's dead, so you don't need to worry about going to church anymore. She's not going to yell at me if you don't go." So,
Right.
but no, that's crazy to have a gun range right across the street from your church. It's part of the church.
Yeah,
That's
we actually have a
fantastic.
safety team that, and actually in in our church, there's probably any given Sunday probably 30 handguns in the service.
Hey, that
Yep.
there's some things
women-
that pop off in churches that I would want 30
Yeah.
armed people in there. Yeah, that'd be fine
Yeah.
with me.
They
I
catch
wear
the
one on
Holy
my side.
Spirit.
I wear one on my side when I preach.
Do you
I've had
really?
people look, yeah, I've had people say, "You're a pastor and you carry a gun."
It's
And I was
not
like,
not
"Hey,"
against the law.
I was like, "Hey, look at it this way: who you want to be shot by? A crackhead that's going to steal your phone and your wallet, or you want to be shot by a pastor who tell you, "Hey, let me tell you about who you're fixing to meet."
I'll tell you all about them. Well, that's cool, man. That's a cool
Remember.
that's a cool sounding church. I mean, especially with you at the helm. You've always come off as not your traditional
Nah,
church going
I'm
pastor.
not.
Yeah.
Well, this
And I tell people that, but I am surrounded by a great group of leaders. So one of my deacons, he's coming home. He actually was in the hospital with almost had a heart attack, had a 90% blockage.
oh my
So
goodness.
I was concerned about it there for a little while, but he got to come home today. So
good.
I'm actually, it's good. It's easy to be a good leader when you surround yourself with other good leaders.
Yeah.
And and I have with that, and our whole church is, what's granted, I'm 11 years working on 11 years there, and it was rocky for a while because it was, what I like to call the frozen chosen. They didn't like it that I'd preach in a t-shirt instead of crotch sometimes, and I got a gun on my side. Bless God, ain't nobody been in here that didn't have a tie on. And I was like, well, thank God I was delivered from the person who invented the tie. So, and that's why if you see on my newer logo,
Mhm.
You see I'm wearing like a priest collar.
Yeah.
I'm not a priest, but I do have a clergy collar.
Okay.
There's one because I got more chins than a Chinese phone book, and that is a plastic thing
Yeah.
that, and I have, you can see my t-shirt here. It's my Tweed FPV. I don't like stuff on my neck. So
Yeah.
I'm always pulling at but when you wear those, that plastic thing, it pulls your collar out.
Oh, okay.
And if I have to go to the hospital, somebody's in a car accident and, you're needing to get into ICU or whatever, and they want to see your pastor credentials. If you're wearing one of those, come right in, Father.
Yeah.
I'm not a father for one, but I'll come on in.
Yeah. Thanks for waving
I've
me
got
in.
pulled over before, and cops come up there and be like, "Oh, that's like I'm headed to the hospital." It's like one time I was headed in the direction of the hospital, but that wasn't where I was going. I was just going too fast, and he's like, "Where are you headed, Father?" And I was like, "Oh, don't call me Father. I don't like that." But anyway, and I was like, "I'm headed to the hospital," and he's like, "Okay, just slow down. Do you need an escort?" And I was like, "Nah, I got it."
You need an escort.
Damn, man. Can you get
So-
these on Amazon?
I heard you were a licensed minister,
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
ordained.
Yeah, I got
Ordained,
ordained. Yeah, just online, like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago. I was just like, well, what's involved with this? And it wasn't much involved with it.
Right? Yeah. They say that you can indict a ham sandwich and you can ordain, the butt of the bread. So
Guess I'm the butt of the bread then.
Me too, brother. But hey, very first sermon I preached at one of the, not where I'm at now, but at the other church that I was at as a youth pastor is if the butt don't work, the whole body shuts down. So it don't matter if you're the biggest butt. When the butt quits working, the eyes will water, the knees start shaking.
Oh yeah.
You know, so just do your job to the best you can do.
I can attest to that
I was
personally.
gonna say, does that resonate well with you?
Yeah. When the butt does not work, the rest of the body does not want to work either.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very correct.
That's correct. So even us butts are needed.
Yeah. There you go.
And I've had people look at me, you're just an a-hole. And I was like, yes, thank God.
So how long, you said you've been 11 years in the church? Is that what you said?
I've been pastoring for over 20 years.
Over
The
20.
church that I'm at, yeah. The church that I'm at now, I've been there I was a youth pastor for 8 and 9 years. What's that? 17? No. I was a youth pastor for probably 13, 14 years.
Okay.
I'm not good with dates since my head injury. And I started pastoring at the church that I'm at in 2010.
Okay. Wow.
It was
Yeah.
2000, no, maybe 2011, 2012, somewhere around there.
Okay. So
I'm not good with dates.
and how old are you?
49.
49. God, man, I hope.
49.
Well, I won't look like you when I'm 49 because I already look older than you. But I was gonna say I hope I look as good as you do when I'm 49.
Oh, brother. I just started back on my diet today. Back before COVID, I'd lost 115 pounds, and I put 60 of that back on.
Was that vodka?
Water.
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 Okay.
I'm actually, people are like, what do? You do keto? I'm like, no, it's pretty much a carnivore diet.
Okay. Yeah. So just
very low carb,
meat based.
lots of meat.
Yeah, for the most part.
If I was grilling today, I'd grill up a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And
I've been interested in trying that as well because I have Crohn's disease. I don't know how much I've talked to you about that, but eating is just such a, all puns intended, pain in the ass. So I need to be real careful about what I eat. And it seems like a carb bread pasta is not friendly with me. Yep. So I was thinking about the carnivore diet.
My doctor is he's a believer. He's a Christian man and friend of mine. And he told me, he was like, he said, why don't you try a carnivore diet? And give me some links to look it up. He said, look in nature. He said, you don't see fat cheetahs.
Yeah.
Look at the wolves are not fat.
Yeah.
Coyotes are generally not fat. Lions usually don't get fat unless they're in the zoo. What gets fat is herbivores.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff is just like, I'm vegan. I'm going to eat grasses and kale and all. No, that's not for me. For one, I'm just, as you can tell, I'd rather eat a donut than some broccoli.
Yeah, right.
But that worked for me. I just, man, in like 6 months, I lost 115 pounds.
Holy cow!
I was like Nick Burns. It's like people didn't see me in 6 months. Like, whoa,
where'd you go?
Sick? You sick, brother?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to pray for him, y'all.
So have you always been a religious man yourself, or was there a period where you weren't and came back to it?
I was raised in a very legalistic church. But since about 8 or 9 years old, I've always had an aversion to lying. But no, I went to, I dated my vice principal's daughter through high school and married her after we got out of college. Mm-hmm. I went to college for GIS and
what's that?
Geographic Information Systems.
Geographic Information Systems. Okay.
I worked for 14 years at a place called Mapping Technologies, right beside Reba McEntire's hangar.
No kidding.
Wow.
Airport. Yeah, and what we did is we did the low altitude base maps for Google, what ended up being Google Earth.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we flew up and we had 9-inch. We had big rolls of film that was 9 inches. The pictures were 9 inches by 9 inches. It's called photogrammetry.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd fly up and we'd take pictures, and I would come down and I'd put those pictures together in ortho photos.
Ah, I see.
The federal government was doing they was giving states money called the Statewide Mapping Initiative through the federal government and the military department. And there was a company called Tiger and Alphabet, and they were in a lot of the meetings.
Alphabet was right before Google, right? Wasn't that
that's the parent company?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and there was, this is for your tinfoil hat guys. I was in a meeting one time, and it was security clearance, but it's not classified or anything.
Yeah.
But I was in with military. I mean, got generals sitting here. We're mapping military bases, and because that's part of the states, when you map the whole state, you got to have clearance to map, a weapons arsenal. Right. And all of that. So we're there, and there's this young man. He was younger than me. I was young. I was very young, and good in the field. That's just before my head injury. Everything that I did, I would always just go right up to the top. When I was in law enforcement, I was the youngest person to ever be named a director of a county program in the state of Tennessee. And at that time, I don't know if it's been broken, but was in this meeting. This curly-headed guy. I mean, it looked like he's like Jewish, but looked like he had like an afro.
Mm-hmm.
And his name was Dustin Moskowitz. And you can look him up. He tries to keep hidden, but he is the real founder. He is the real founder of Facebook.
Really? Oh wait, I do remember that. Why is that? Yeah, the last name sounds really familiar.
Dustin, he was the youngest self-made billionaire at the time in America, and we were doing these base maps for the military department, but paid for through the state and federal government, and they were like, we've got these base maps, and you could move around, this was new. This was new. This was 92, 93.
Yeah.
New technology. We had 3D glasses that we would put on that were polarized glasses. Those glasses were $1,800.
Damn.
21-inch monitors. We were using RAID drives in our computers.
Yeah.
If NT was still working, man, I could do it, dude. And the batch commands and stuff. That was my forte for a long time. Because I still remember that from the head injury. I don't know what I did last week, but I remember that. But I can remember a general come in there, and there was for whatever reason, there was a guy from the Mossad, which is the Israeli government, and they're like, we need a way. We've got these maps, and we will have the maps of all of America, and this is like Desert Storm.
Yeah.
This is Daddy Bush War.
Yeah.
We're sending cruise missiles down chimneys, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Based upon GPS coordinates, right? Based upon accurate base maps, and that's what we were doing. They wouldn't doing that from satellite imagery. The satellites wasn't that good then.
No, not that precise. Yeah.
And they were like, we need a way. We need a way to put the information. I want to know what that building is right there. When I click on that building, I want to know that's a Taco Bell.
Right.
And then they were like, what we need is we need, and this is when Dustin spoke up. He said what we're developing a platform that's going to be free for everybody, and everybody will freely give us all their information. They'll tell us who their friends are. Yeah. They'll tell us where they live. They will tell us all of this. And they're like, yes. And when we get that, we'll mix this with the base map data.
Right.
And all of that was government. All of that was tax dollars that paid for it. Alphabet become Google, and Tiger become Facebook. And that was what I did.
That's wild, man.
That's insane.
I did that for a while, and until I was called into ministry, and I avoided that, man. I'm just telling you. I moved to Knoxville, went to work for another company. I was avoiding it. And didn't have any. Well, I had a daughter But when I was first started avoiding it, my niece who lives in the parsonage that is the church's, she's was born blind with detached retinas, and she was like a daughter to me.
Yeah.
And she at 6 years old developed brain cancer.
Oh wow.
And I was like, no, I'm like one of three people in the country that could do what I was doing.
Yeah.
With the programs and the software and there was other people that worked under us, but that could run the show. There's three other guys.
Yeah.
And I could, I was getting job offers from, California, Redlands, California, to Ronkonkoma, New York, and all of this stuff, just making good money. And, so, here I am sitting in these meetings, and I forgot where I was going there for a minute, where I was heading with it. But yeah, I mean, my niece.
Yeah.
And she had developed brain cancer, and I'd moved to Knoxville. I lived just north of Nashville, right up on the Tennessee-Kentucky line. And I'd moved to Knoxville and went to work for a mapping company there. They kind of stole me away from the company that I was at, offered me twice as much as the other company was paying.
Yeah.
Give me a free apartment,
Wow.
everything.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I went there, and I knew that I could feel the pull to help people and to go into ministry and just to help people. And we were doing so much government work that, man, for somebody that doesn't like liars,
That's the wrong business.
Yeah, working for the government. Yeah.
don't mess with politicians. Poly, I'm a pastor, so I study words. Poly means many.
Yeah.
And ticks are blood-sucking leeches. So y'all can remember that. Write that down.
But we were just talking about this in my Discord earlier, where I said most politicians are ex-lawyers. So like when you think of it in that regard, I don't trust any lawyers. So
No.
So yeah, as soon as they transfer over to a politician, it's like, well, it's a lateral move for you, I guess.
So my niece goes in for brain surgery,
Mhm.
and they don't know. And I remember I come home from work in that apartment. My wife was there, and my oldest she was just a little toddler. And my mom called me. She's like, they said it'd only take her like 2 or 3 hours, and it's been a lot longer.
Yeah.
And which was not good, for brain surgery. And I went in the shower, and I was like, you know what? And this might be for somebody. Don't ever make promises to God you don't intend to keep. Because I was like, okay, if you'll let this doctor get every bit of that brain cancer, and she comes out cancer-free, I'll serve you.
Yeah.
And about 2 hours later, my mom called. She was crying. She said the surgeon come out and said he don't understand it. It wasn't wanting to come.
Yeah.
It wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, he said it's like somebody got at his hand, and it all come out. And she's cancer-free.
Wow.
That's
No kidding.
insane.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, deal's a deal.
And I'd like to tell you from that day on, I was a minister.
Wow. No, you weren't.
I still ran, but I couldn't get away from it then. I kept being reminded. So then I came, and I was a youth pastor while I was still working at the mapping company. I went back to work at the other company to move back closer to my family, and ran the whole show there for several years, and was there on 9/11 at the airport. When I come in that morning, opened up the office when all the stuff happened, and I just turned down. I'd been up in Silver Springs, Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, between Silver Springs, they booked me a hotel in Silver Springs, and it was not. I get off the airplane, take the cab there, and the guy's like, "You coming here?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "No, you don't want to be here." And I was like, "Well, I got this convention. I'm going to hop to the metro." And he's like, "You don't want to walk to the metro from that area."
Yeah.
Wherever it was. It was I don't remember what, La Quinta or something.
Yeah.
We went somewhere else, but
Yeah, I can picture the part of Silver Spring you're talking about too.
I was
I'm
gonna
sure.
say.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now I did see the same cab driver pick me up. The convention was in Chevy Chase,
Okay.
Okay.
pretty close to the zoo. There was some
Yeah.
convention center. There's nice houses. The company said, we can't afford for you to stay in Chevy Chase.
Yeah, Chevy Chase is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there in June, they were showing satellite technology that we could. This is another little story. I'll tell it. So we were there, and there's a company called Trimble that's really good with GPS. If you ever see bulldozers, they've got the little white caps on the top of them.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, those bulldozers are moving and leveling based upon a GPS coordinate.
Oh,
So
wow.
So they get the grade of the ground perfect.
Yeah.
Within like half an inch.
Wow,
And
that's insane.
so we were there, and the military was there. I was doing continuing education for surveyors and engineers on GIS.
Okay.
And I'm teaching this stuff. They have to take it every year, so I taught the courses on it. And Trimble had this demonstration with the military department. They had this big projector up, and it was live. And they were like, we're live with General so and so, and he's on the so and so green in upstate New York. And they said, this is one of the declassified low altitude geosynchronous orbit satellites that we're now going to use for base maps, so that we don't have to have as many airplanes flying over. Doing, it was the next level. Now they're doing it with drones. They're doing photogrammetry. They do it with drones now.
I've heard about like agricultural mapping and stuff they're doing with drones.
Yeah, see, before I got my head injury, I was working with a surveyor. I've always had two jobs, not since my head injury, but and he just called me just like a year or two ago, and he's like, I need you to come and get certified to fly this drone stuff for me. And I was like, man, I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were there, and on the screen they were like, we're in geosynchronous orbit. And so it zooms in, and you see this golf course. And it's like, we're going to zoom in again. And it's like on I don't know what it was, the 8th hole or something. They're on the green. And you zoom in, and you see these three guys standing about the size of my fingers here. You see these three guys, and their backs are turned toward on a green.
Yeah.
And it's live. And they're on some kind of conference call. The guy's got, cell phone and stuff. And they're like, General so-and-so, would you wave at the audience here? And you see the guy's got his back turned, and he does. They're like, no, turn around. He turns a little bit. And they turn around more, and he turns, and it zooms in on his face, and he's waving like this.
What?
And this is
That's insane.
Satellite that they released in 2001, June of 2001. I saw this, and this was live, and it's like, we're going to be able to get great, which they were talking 8 microns, which one pixel was 8 micromillimeters. So you're talking
itty bitty.
Great quality. And he's like, okay, step aside. And this, I kid you guys not, this is not, I mean, this was public. This was everybody at the convention that wanted to go see this could see this. They zoomed in, and you could read Titleist on the golf ball, and then you could see the
nuts.
What?
From a
That's
satellite,
nuts.
From a satellite in geosynchronous orbit, we could have counted the divots on that Titleist 2. I remember it, a Titleist 2 golf ball.
That's insane.
And you can't find a 737 that crashed in the ocean.
Yeah, right.
When all of the seat cushions float.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. Very odd.
That was your tinfoil hat, guys. So.
Well, that's crazy. That's insane. You mentioned law enforcement briefly.
Yes.
Was that tied into the mapping or no?
That was before.
Before the
that
mapping.
Was right after I got out of that was my first stint in my first ever dealings with politics. I was going to school and had just graduated in civil engineering, and my dad was like, "Hey, son," he's like, "You want to go to work for the county, the sheriff's department. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
You know, because before I got married, I was going to be a helicopter pilot. That's what I wanted to do. I even took the ASVAB test and was going to go into the
Military.
Army and be
Yeah.
a helicopter pilot. But my wife didn't want me to do that. My girlfriend didn't want me to do that. So then I was going to be law enforcement and be a canine officer. So I like dogs. And my dad was good friends with the county executive. And he's like, I need you to go put these signs out all over the place. And I'm like 19.
Yeah.
You know, and long story short, it was for political favors. I got in, worked a little while there with it, and for the county and all. And actually, the guy who's the sheriff now was the first person that gave me training after I come out of the law enforcement training academy. So the guy who's our sheriff here now was a good friend of mine, and so I was doing that, and it was I didn't like it. It
Yeah.
didn't bring out the good in me.
No.
Like drug and alcohol counseling, I did that too, and that didn't bring out the good in me.
Yeah.
And I just I can only help people to a certain extent, and then when they start,
You got to be able to help yourself.
I'm just like,
or you got to want the help.
yeah, and I don't like manipulators, but anyway, so that and the sheriff and the county executive come up to me and they were like, hey, we really need your help. You graduated from college, you're a smart guy, you're moving up and everything. We need you to go and be the assistant director of animal control underneath the sheriff's department. And they said, you do this for like a year, help them get the book straight, because there's an older guy that's the director and he's just messed the stuff up. I just want you to go in and, simple math, just balance the books up. And when I started doing it, it was like $36,000 of missing money.
Oh my God.
And when
Shocker.
I told him that, the 1 year turned into 3.
Oops.
they got rid of him. They named me first off, they named me the assistant director, and then they named me the director. So I'm like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
22, I think it was the director.
Wow.
Of all of animal control, answered only to the sheriff and the county executive.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, and the politics it got worse and worse and worse.
I can't imagine what it's like today.
Well, with me, because they would ask me to do something that was not illegal or not, it was after the money, it would come clear that the money was just misappropriated. We found some stuff that he had in his garage and all this stuff. They fired him, but it was like covered up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Make the numbers work.
Right.
In case we get audited. And I was dumb.
So dirty.
If anybody young's watching this and you go to work for a county or city or something like that, anybody tells you to do that, run, because if they do get audited, you're going to be the one that goes to jail.
You're the fall
guy.
You're the patsy. You're going to be the one that goes to jail.
Yeah.
But we didn't get audited, thank God for that. And I ended up leaving that situation. Went to work for the mapping company.
Okay.
So.
And then you just did that for forever.
I did that for up till I started ministry, and when I started ministry, I did both of those for a while, and then when I left the mapping company, it just got too much politics. See, with me, and I don't know if people are this way, and with me, there's certain people and certain situations that bring out the bad in me.
Right.
And I have people that were friends of mine when I were young, that bring out the side of me that I don't like. And because I'm rotten just like anybody else is. Just because I'm a pastor doesn't mean I'm not screwed up.
Right. Yeah.
And I like women. I'm not cheated on my wife or anything. I'm very straight.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it. It's June. But I don't hide that stuff, and it's
it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Right, but there's so much lying and all of that stuff, and then when I got to doing drug and alcohol counseling, I just got to be mean.
Yeah,
it was my daughter, my oldest, she's amazing, Very, very intelligent. She would spell check my sermons when she was in the first grade.
Oh,
Literally.
goodness.
She's like, Daddy, you did an hour-long sermon in one sentence. One run-on sentence.
Not one period in the
I'm a
bunch.
math person. Who cares about grammar? You know, if it had been up to me, it's I before E, period. No except after C. No.
If you're not adding all these stipulations.
No. That's it. So, yeah, that's it. And you know, the drug and alcohol counseling, I did that for a while. Paid. All of the people that came in were ordered by the court.
Okay.
So if they failed their drug tests and stuff, that was it. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Go to jail. And
it's 90% bullshit. But it's entertaining.
Excuse was another crackhead's excuse. And oof, you know, my daughter would be like, "But Dad, you know,
it's 90% bullshit.
Excuses.
But it's entertaining."
I'm sorry. 1 second. OG, do you have your alerts muted?
Yeah, it's muted on my end.
Are you sure?
Right? It's 90% bullshit. But it's entertaining.
Through OBS, yeah. It's all
Okay.
muted.
Yeah, because mine are too. And here we go again.
Here we go again.
Right? It's 90% bullshit.
Mine are not.
But it's entertaining.
It's okay. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. Hang on. Hang on.
Right? It's 90% bullshit.
Yeah. That we figured out last time we were fooling with it.
That's right, Mike. I can't hide the stuff.
It's 90% bullshit.
Yeah,
but it's entertaining.
Everything's
phony
muted.
and more angry.
Everything's muted. Oh,
Silent.
Right?
this is
90% bullshit.
This is how we ended the
But it's
last
entertaining.
episode. Was exactly like this, with
Yeah.
the alerts just going off the whole time.
I wonder if I
Right? It's 90% bullshit.
close out
But it's entertaining.
OBS and shit and then come right back in with it, if it'll still do it.
Right?
I don't
It's
know.
90% bullshit.
I don't know. I thought we had
But
to
it's
figure out last
entertaining.
time because it did work and then it didn't, but now it's just not.
No.
I don't understand. I don't understand. It's
Is it
broken.
only
Right.
90% of the
It's
notifications?
90% bullshit.
At
it's
this
entertaining.
point, it seems like it's 100% of them, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me
only
try.
90%.
Let me try.
We are
Just
in the loop
Right.
currently. It ended when he left, so it's definitely not me.
But it's all muted on my end though. That's what I'm saying.
But it ended as soon as your stream ended.
No,
It
I know.
stopped.
I heard. I did.
Like
I
it
saw.
stopped in the middle of it.
Yeah. I don't know why it does that.
I don't know either. I don't know, man.
Microsoft works. That's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but it did this last time as well, and it just never stopped. But now it stopped. There you go.
All right.
Let's do this. We'll kill that. OG, are you here in spirit?
I'm coming back.
Okay.
I'm resharing.
Hearing spirits. Is this why somebody asked me if I could exercise OG?
Here in spirit.
Oh, here in spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta. You people up north speak correctly.
Sorry.
Hearing.
Sorry.
Hearing is herein.
Herein. Right. Yeah.
Hearing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like G.
I could see that. Yeah, the confusion there. Speaking of, man, I need to get this figured out, the AI voice thing.
Right.
I need to talk to somebody that can help me with it. Maybe we'll get that going soon. But what I'd love to do is get you to do some voice lines.
All right.
And I think the AI only needs like a minute or a minute and a half of vocal from you, and then it'll just learn your language, your everything, your cadence and your talking, all that. It gets it pretty accurate. Kind of scary, but
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
I'll have to get that all figured out.
Yeah. The problem is going to get me to get me to shut up at a minute and a half.
Well, you can keep going, but I think the AI will probably stop listening after a little bit. Here, bring Marty back there in the middle. All right, well, OG, you okay?
I'm sharing my thing again.
Oh, are you? Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, where'd I go? I don't know where I went.
You're back up. Everything's right in the world.
All
Yeah.
right,
Except for that I have to go to the bathroom. Is everybody else good? Are you guys good?
I'm good.
Okay, OG, you good?
I mean, if I could use a bathroom break.
you want to take a quick 5?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we can do that.
Top off your waters and all?
Yep.
Yep.
I can do
Okay,
that too.
excellent. All right. Everybody in chat, we will be RB. Let me put you guys on something entertaining to watch whilst we're gone. Go get yourself a little drinky poo. Go make a poo. Go to the bathroom. Do what you got to do. And we
Pause
will
for the
be back.
cause.
We will be back shortly with Phat Pastor.
He didn't leave Robot Lady for us to play with. Y'all know she ain't saying shit. Nice man. Been a while since camping. I was wrong. Oh hi beautiful. John, you sound like a grown-up Sky talking about his poopy tummy. Beaver otter beaver beaver otter beaver otter beaver otter beaver otter. Hello Robot Lady. Mike, I thought the same thing lol. John, IMA make a fire now, need to burn some sticks. Pics in Discord. AHH hell yeah. Fire in an oil field, what could go wrong? Hey guys. Hey Marty. Howdy. Thank you Asbestos for the gift. Hey Marty. No doubt. How is it going, bro? John is Shixy hawk sock so knock six shixy howrick soik sock shock six so. Not now gots a fire. Pain kicking my butt but all good mostly could be better. John is fur.
Right? Is 90% bullshit. What is entertaining?
And you guys were wondering why I didn't want to leave
90%
Robot
bullshit.
Lady on.
What is entertaining?
Oh gee, your stream's doing it again, bud.
Right? Is 90% bullshit. What is entertaining?
Oh boy,
Right? Is 90%.
I'm just gonna turn that off for right now.
Hello?
Hey, your stream's doing it again, so I stopped the stream for you.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I wish I knew. I thought we had it figured out last time.
Yeah, I thought we did too.
They don't do it on mine. The mute thing, the same solution that I gave you seems to be working on my end. I don't know why it doesn't for yours. It's very weird.
What solution was it?
So you go into the alerts, the browser source that you have, right click on it, go to properties, and then do control audio via OBS. And then over on your audio mixer in OBS, if you hit the three dots at the bottom and hit unhide all, it should show one that says whatever you named the alerts tab. It should give you an actual volume bar for it, and then you can mute it from there.
So wait, do it on like the tips one?
Whatever you have for the browser source for alerts, whatever that may be. I don't know what you have it listed as, but whatever it is, whatever it's called.
Okay, yeah, that's this.
It should be that one.
Control audio via OBS. Yeah.
Was that not checked?
No, it was not.
Okay.
Why was that not checked? We did that last time, right?
Yes, but you have to uncheck it every time you stream because otherwise it won't play the alerts.
That's right. All right. Yep.
So you got it now?
Okay. Yep. So it should be good now.
Okay. Let's hope so. I'll just take a quick second before we jump back in. Thank you. Oh wait, that one went away. Message redacted. I wonder what happened. I think ZDZ came in at some point and and became a member.
Yes, he did.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks, CDZ.
As well as who else we got here? Mo FPV was gifted a membership by Asbestos Fibers. Thank you, Asbestos Fibers, and Mo. Welcome back to the 90%ers. Asbestos Fiber with the 5, fixing it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Again, Asbestos Fiber with the 5. It's entertainment. Yeah, it sure is entertaining. And,
that's my bad. I totally forgot that.
Gordon with the 357. Don't be sheep. We're doing our best. I think we have the pastor here. We are definitely not sheep today. We are lamb.
Yes.
Okay, I think we're all squared away there on the screens. Okay, there we go. Well, welcome back. So, what is that? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I was thinking I wanted to ask, and I had completely forgotten to ask. When you're not saving the world one maladjusted youth at a time, or flying FPV, what is it that you do for fun when you're not at the church and when you're not flying FPV? What do you do just for shits and giggles when you're not doing that? or is that it? Is that just pretty consuming?
Yeah. All the free time that I have, if I get to choose what I'm doing, it's flying.
Okay, I figured.
So yeah,
I think that's kind of
I like roller coasters, but
yeah,
a lot of walking.
I hate roller coasters. They terrify me.
Do you really?
Do you really? Yeah.
I love them.
I hate rickety old things that some dude with 4 teeth put together. No, I'm not.
I'm not talking about carnival rides. I'm talking about like legit roller coasters.
Go to a legit amusement park. So
yeah,
I'm still good.
I was watching you fly over Disney World, and you were like, man.
Disney World is insane. That's crazy. That's crazy that it's. Have you been there like
yes.
for real?
Yeah, been there twice. It's been 10 days. First time.
Did you go with other people?
My family.
Did you keep all of them there, or did you lose them?
Well, actually,
place looks like you could lose your family quickly.
Yeah, you can.
It's
a great place to have your child trafficked. But seriously. But anyway, I was lurking when you were flying that, and I think I tried to send you Dollywood.
You may have.
Yeah, I didn't have the coordinates right. But, but it's actually Disney World. It's 7. I think it's 7 different parks.
And they're all just mashed together.
Magic Kingdom and Epcot's like 5 or 6 miles apart, and you take a monorail. But it's all on property. So they got resorts in between them. And
bro, it's so crazy. And
yeah,
that's just one of their parks.
Huge. It's huge. Yeah.
So
they got like a zoo.
Who's keeping an eye on Disney? Because that's a lot of power and money. Who's keeping an eye on Disney?
Nobody. They're taking over everything.
I think old Ron DeSantis down there he's throwing the monkey wrench into everything. I don't know that I agree with everything that he's doing. See, Disney was their own government. They had their own police department, their own fire department, their own. They were not answering.
We were just talking about that on a stream not that long ago, right?
That is absurd.
I forget the name of it. When we were there, we went the first time we went with Make-A-Wish. My youngest daughter, that's what she wanted to do, and we went there, and then we went back when my oldest was 16. We spent 10 days, and still 10 days on our second trip, and we still hadn't seen all of it.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, I heard somebody say if you wanted to go, you needed to use, like cut out like 2 weeks of time to be able to see everything.
And the first trip was with Make-A-Wish, and my daughter was in a wheelchair, and she had a button. We didn't wait in line for nothing.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Went right out of the exits, and we still didn't get to see everything.
Wow.
Still.
Even with the cheat code, you still couldn't see everything.
Right. Even with the cheats.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm blown away. Blown away by how large that place. I've never actually seen it in real life. I've seen the Epcot Center. I've seen pictures of the towers with fireworks going off behind it, but I never understood the sheer magnitude of how big that place is.
Now they project on it. They have a projector that's like quarter of a mile back, and they project movie scenes on it. It's just make it look like it's on fire and
on the castle or whatever that is. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wild. Crazy. That's a whole lot of unchecked power, man. I hope somebody's keeping an eye on that.
Well, from what I understand, I try not to. I don't watch TV.
I don't either.
It's YouTube or now. Let me take that back. I do have Peacock because I want to watch. It used to be called Live PD, but it's now On Patrol.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. Some of my friends, I can't believe you watch other people get slammed on the pavement for fun. It's like, I do. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when the police dog gets them. It's like, they got the canine. They got the fur missile. Yeah. Somebody going to get bit.
The fur missile.
Get him. Track him out from under the lap. I'm rooting for the dog.
Yeah.
Fight him again.
Wasn't Live PD like a... wasn't it a Twitch channel at one point or something like that? They were live on I feel like they were live on a website before.
Well, see, they got what do you want to call it?
Canceled?
I want to try to be good. Yeah.
I was gonna say there was some controversy with it.
Yeah, I think there was something that they filmed that never did go to air or something. It was a controversial shooting around all the George Floyd stuff that happened and all of that, and so it was A&E, I believe it was. Yeah, A&E.
I think so.
Canceled.
Yeah.
A&E canceled them, and now that's why it's back. It's back on
You said Peacock, right?
Spike.
Oh,
I think
Spike.
it's Spike.
Spike's still a thing?
No, it's not Spike. I'll turn around and look at the TV like it's on. No, it's one of those. You can get it on. It's not everybody's got it, but Peacock has it, and I watch it.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Yeah, whatever.
They've tamed it down a little bit because if right to the starting to get to the good stuff, they would start to just now let's go back to somebody that's just writing a traffic ticket. It's like, no, you think to shoot somebody. I want to see, but
yeah.
So they have some complaints now. Now they're getting back to where you can actually see the dog pull the person out from underneath the car when they're hiding.
Nice.
I'm like, yes, that's entertainment right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Who
That's
cares
right.
about
it's
somebody
almost
writing a
entertainment
ticket?
as a bug zapper.
Almost, yeah. Almost.
Yeah. That's entertainment in the South right there. 6-pack and a bug zapper.
I don't have any complaints. Yeah, that's
No.
a nice summer night for me.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's right.
Well, hey, since we're in the second half of the stream, maybe open it up to chat a little bit. If anybody wanted to ask any questions, OG, if you had any that were lurking. I know I did the majority of the talking on our end, and Pastor, you did quite a bit. And I want to thank you for your time and the storytelling, man. It's really appreciative, or appreciated, I should say, that you come on and spend the time talk with us for a little bit. Do appreciate that.
It's crazy that we've had nobody that's came on here and just been like, oh yeah, just kind of bland life, didn't really do anything crazy. It's like we've got Pastor in here talking about being a cop, and then the photo, the mapping, and everything else, and then you got Dan out here being an astrophysicist and climbing cranes, and you got Jesse hopping trains. It's like everybody that we've had on has been super interesting.
I can answer your question, Brundle.
I was going to say, is there any info on DC's very organic, super positive, normal, absolutely truthful subscriber count? Legit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
super legit.
I think it all goes hand in hand. Of course, he wasn't doing that at the time when I was that I knew of, but I know he was very connected with China and Banggood and what was that other one? Gearbest.
Okay.
And so it was in their interest. I know Rudy would talk all the time about that. Justin just did a video of this review and it had 500 views or 1,000 views, or in the media, come on, this one, yeah.
Got to boost.
Right now I'm having a hard time finding my Rudy accent.
Got to boost those numbers up a little bit for him.
Right, and even then there was people. I think Splat Kitty. He's like a IT guy or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's very knowledgeable and computers and all that. I think he was saying that it was some ties there with a bot house even back then.
Really? Even back then? Yeah. So this is like 4
Right.
years ago we were talking about here.
Right. That there was we believe that there was a convolution of numbers even back then, but nothing like
today.
Now.
Yeah, I was going to say today is absurd. It's like full mask off, just doesn't care anymore. Because it was obvious to me the second I looked at it.
Oh yeah, it's so robotic. Even the graphs look robotic.
I watched one of your streams one time where you went onto a site and was showing
Social Blade.
Oh, you went on there. You went on there.
Social Blade. Yeah, you can look at his subscriber count on Social Blade, and the numbers are very odd the way that they work.
I mean, it looks like a heartbeat, didn't it?
Yeah. It's like 1,000, 0, 0, 1,000, 0, 0, 1,000. So you look at other channels like Nick Burns or like our channel, and you can see like this very, it's kind of like a normal graph where you would see like these rises and falls and ups and downs. Whereas his the perfect straight lines, straight across, straight up, straight over, straight down, like every single one. Yeah. So I was like, well, that's
it's like
fishy.
Exactly 1,000 at a time.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
exactly
1,000. Yeah.
Like somebody's given him 1,000 views for doing something.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That's what we thought then. It was like, I don't know that it was always monetary kickback from Rudy with Banggood, but I believe it was viewers and subscribers.
Yeah, and one way or another, there had to be some type of monetary gain from it, because I don't mind saying he definitely comes off as the type of person that he's not going to do anything unless there is some type of gain for him. You know,
Yeah.
he's not going to waste his time
Yeah.
unless he can make out on it. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know if I should mention the company's name. They're not a big company by any means, but I spoke with one of their reps months ago now on a FaceTime call, and we were talking about doing some stuff together, but I decided against it because it's not the way I want to go. But they mentioned that they were like, well, how's your channel growth been? And I said, we've been pretty steady. And they were asking me about DC's channel. And he said, do you know if that's legit? And I said, no, I know for sure that it isn't. And he goes, yeah, we did the same thing on our YouTube channel to try to like get some growth and, you know, just get a good head start. And I was like, that's not a good head start because YouTube's not stupid. YouTube understands how that works now, and they will just blacklist your channel and not tell you about it. But you're going to get horrible search results or search optimization in the search results. And yeah, they'll just mute your channel basically if they see weird stuff like 1,000 subs dumped every 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, you know, maybe you know more about this than I do. I was trying to get the 1,000 subs, and somebody recommended doing the AdSense or whatever
AdSense.
Yeah, the Google Ads.
Yeah,
basically what I did is I went on there and I think it was $50. I took $50 and I put it in there and I said, advertise. I want, and of course it said real clear that you couldn't do it on live streams. It had to just be like your other videos. And, you know, I did it, and it was like, you know, like first 2 or 3 days, it was like, I started getting all kinds of just bots stuff in my comments because I have my comments filtered because people from the church will let their kids watch it all, and I just don't let anything in.
Right.
And I was getting a lot of just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, and so I stopped it.
That's a good idea.
I get this. I get a message from them. It's like, oh, you need to, you know, continue this. We'll offer this, and you know, we'll guarantee so many. And I was messing with it, and I put the URL to one of my live streams.
Yeah.
On it, and I pasted it in there, and it still had the thumbnail up to my 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But that like got like 1,000 or 1,500 views in like no time, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so I pulled that back because I was getting all kinds of just crazy comments, and even with that.
So I don't know if it still works the same way, but what they do normally with AdSense is they just push your video out or your channel out to like basically anybody. So there could be somebody on YouTube just looking for videos about like Legos, and they're going to get your channel. So it'll give you a view because that person will click and go to your channel, but is it going to give you a subscriber and somebody that's going to keep coming back and watching?
There's no retention there.
Yeah, there's not going to give you the watch time or anything. Yeah.
Right. And so you've been in this game for a little bit now, so you probably understand that at the end of the day, subscriber count means basically nothing. Like it's basically a non-number. You shouldn't even pay attention to it. The view count is also, you know, that's kind of important, kind of not. Really, the retention is the biggest thing that YouTube looks at. If you have people that will watch a 30-minute video for 25, 30 minutes, that's what YouTube wants. They want people staying on the site. They don't care if they're just there to click once and then go away from the video.
Right.
They want butts and seats watching constantly on their site. So, so whenever people come to me a lot and they ask, you know, what's a good way I can boost my subscribers? Should I do some of those sub for sub, Reddits and all that stuff? And it's like that. You don't want to do that because that's an easy one to avoid because you're asking somebody to sub to your channel. They're not subbing because they want to. So you get the number, you get that one subscriber tick, but then does that person watch your videos when you post them? Are they going to come watch all your content? 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're just doing it because they wanted to grow their sub count too. But yeah, it's just
it's basically trading subs.
Yeah, it is.
Like you sub to me, I'll go sub to your channel. Like,
and they have like Reddit, like full subreddits of people that are just sub for sub. So you just go to these random YouTube channels and you subscribe to them, and then they come back to yours and they sub to you. Again, that inflates your subscriber number, but they're not coming back to watch your stuff. Like they don't even know, you know, these aren't even like curtailed towards a specific type of channel. It's just general, you know, whatever. So it might even be people that have no idea what FPV is. that come and sub to your channel. So again, a high sub count, and that's where DC I think really burned himself, because a high sub count doesn't translate into watch time or views necessarily, and views don't translate into watch time. So
see, that was something I even noticed way back in the day, is that he had so many more subscribers than Nick Burns. Let's just say, Nick. Nick's a great guy,
amazing,
and I've been, he's just solid, and Nick had didn't even have like a half of the number that DC had, but Nick's views per video was like 2 or 3 times what his was.
Yeah, crazy how that works.
Because they're legitimate subs.
Yeah, there are people that actually sub to his channel because they like his content, whereas the other one is just, again, it's just inflating a number. Now, where it's useful for him, for DC, is because he can go, and he has said this. I think I even have a sound clip of him saying it. But he can go to any company. He can go to DJI when they let out a new quad, and he can say, hey, here's my channel. I'd love to review your quad. And then, so now he gets a free quad sent to him. He gets to do the video and soak up a little bit of the views. But then he gets to turn around and sell that review quad to his viewers.
$2,000 e-bike. Yeah.
To his viewers. It's absurd, man.
That's like triple dipping.
It is.
Double dipping.
It's
That's
crazy.
like triple dipping.
It's the scummiest thing ever, to where, like, when I realized what was happening on his channel, I was like, I can't bite my tongue and not say anything about this. I have to, like, at least make fun of it, because it's just insane that you're trying to play the game that way. It's like being on a boat where there's just all these holes in it, and you're running around with duct tape trying to patch all of them up constantly. Like, his channel just seems
duct
so
tape, flex seal.
Sorry,
flex tape.
Sorry,
man. Come on, now. That's how you seal it.
I've won so much
That's
stuff from Painless 360 and Nick Burns, for them just sometimes stuff that, I mean, I'll just comment on it thinking, get it, and I've given some of the stuff away on my channel that I've won from other channels, but
I mean, companies send us stuff now more recently than before to do videos on. WeBleed is one of our biggest supporters, I would say, where anytime there's a new product coming out, we can always guarantee there's going to be one in the box for us. But we never keep them. We always give them away. Always. The only thing I usually don't give away is the bind and flies that I do reviews on, because 9 times out of 10 they're not gonna make it to the person's house after I'm done flying them. But sometimes I just hang on to them because I bought them myself, and it's like it's hard to just give them away. But anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the biggest video on my channel, I think it's got the most views, was an item that was given to me.
Oh yeah, it is. I watched that video when I was putting your trailer together.
It has a little bit. I have to give you guys a little bit of credit on it.
Really?
Yeah. In it, I've got my goggles on, and I've got this set up, and I'm out at my church. If you watch it, there's some guy down in the valley. When I fly up, when it's not in the video, when I fly up, I see a guy in the same valley as our gun range is, but he's back behind the farmhouse, and he's sighting in a rifle. So I'm doing all this comparison between my goggles and stuff, and you hear just constantly.
Yeah.
And these kids on the other side of the hill, they come out and they start playing it, and I didn't realize it because I'm listening to the quad and talking to the GoPro and things like that. And when I get back and I start editing it, there was a part of it where it's like, and you hear the kids go, what? I was like, I've got to do something. And I went on and I did a screen cap. I don't know where I think I got it off your Etsy maybe, or your Teespring, of the duck hunt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I popped up the duck hunt, and I said, no quads were harmed in the filming of this or something. And then I turned to a picture of Alec Baldwin from Rust. and it's like, and no children were shot. I don't remember what it was. I just went back on Facebook and Twitter, and somebody had recommended, another viewer had recommended that I be more socially minded. Yeah. So I was putting stuff out on them, and there started a war on Facebook and Twitter. Somebody I posted it on there, and somebody commented, it's like, Alec Baldwin didn't shoot nobody.
Oh.
And somebody else come back in, it's like, yes, he did. And it's both sides. And it's like, hey, I got 4,000 views on that.
I was going to say, they keep coming back to argue in the comment section.
I didn't even comment. I was
sometimes you just got to let it go.
Just flashed up a little picture of Alec Baldwin and said, nobody was shot in the filming of this video. It's what it was. So,
that's funny. I don't know where I was going with that. Never mind. I was gonna say I did watch that video. I don't think I saw that part though, where you put up the duck hunt, but that's funny.
Yeah.
I
think I said something. I hope you don't mind heads or something like that, but I've just flashed it up there.
Oh, absolutely.
And I put
of course.
I think it's in the. I think my short-term memory is bad, but I do think I have like a link in there to go buy that shirt if people wanted to, if they liked it.
Oh, that's real kind.
I have it.
Yeah,
I know you did. I think that was one of the first ones you had by us. I think.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw somebody sent me a clip. That's how I found your stream. Somebody sent me a clip, and they said, "This guy's got your shirt on." And I went and watched a little bit of your stream, and I saw you said, "I just got this new shirt in," and you pulled it up.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the duck hunt shirt. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool.
It's so good. I remember when I was in Wooptopia last year and out in Phoenix, or this year. There's like a Thursday night bar race, and somebody walked in wearing a duck hunting shirt. I sent heads a message instantly. I'm like, there's somebody here with the duck hunting shirt.
Yeah, that's so cool,
good.
Man. Yeah, that trips me out. Trips me out. That's
it's
awesome.
So great. That's what's crazy is like going to events like that and like seeing people wearing Infinity Loop stuff is nuts.
Yeah, it's weird. It's awesome. I love the community that we've got going on here. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I still got to get back up with heads to get my
I got a Fat Pastor shirt sitting here for you.
Oh yeah,
from the man himself.
Thank you for that, by the way, man. I appreciate it.
You also get a magnet. I got mine back here on the computer case.
Yeah, I tell you.
I'm gonna put I'm digging the magnet. I got the magnet on my fridge. I need to get some more FPV magnets. I think I got a few Weebly ones up there too.
Did I give you one? I gave you one of the 90%er ones, right?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, yep. Pastor, I got to send you out some of our new stuff. We got some new swag I got to get out to you.
Yeah.
So I'll have to grab your address again.
Yeah.
So the other question I saw in chat is DC actually Earthworm Jim?
That's the question we all want to know.
Maybe.
No insider info there?
Yeah.
You didn't see him digging any holes in the dirt when it was raining out or anything like that?
He always used to go, "I'm dang sexy."
You heard it here first, folks.
Big.
Man, I wish I could I wish I would have known. I wasn't sure how you wanted to handle the DC thing. I didn't want to put any pressure on you to spill any beans you didn't want to. But I wish I would have written some questions down. Had some time to think about.
You eat the beans, I'll spill them, because I'm not eating no hot beans. I'm a big wimp.
I eat hot beans all day.
Oh yeah, the hot beans are.
As a matter of fact, I owe 2 just from this stream.
So wait, how does that work? Since we're both on here tonight,
we split the difference. I think.
We each take one.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, we probably got to split the difference there, and we have 22 likes, so I got to do a stinky bean.
Oh shoot.
We'll wait. We'll do that.
Yeah.
I should have brought some donuts. Wait, I started my diet. So
there
take
you go.
a drink of water.
There you go. Yeah, just a nice, delicious sip of water.
Tennessee moonshine.
I'm just over here drinking mimosas.
Have you ever been to Gatlinburg?
No, but I have a Doug hitter that randomly says Gatlinburg on it.
Oh, that's random.
It's like all kinds of moonshine shops up there now, man.
Moonshine shops?
Yes, you go there and buy moonshine.
So they distill it on.
You get a wristband. You walk around like a little town that's like Little Aspen.
Yeah.
All kinds of shopping, and you can sample
what?
Hundreds of shots of moonshine.
That's crazy.
just don't get too forsnickered and go out on the
Forsnickered?
Forsnickered, yeah. I'm a big Mel Brooks fan.
Yeah.
From
I like it.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I like
We've
it.
got
Yeah.
squirrels. We've got birds.
The
We'll
boys.
bless them all until they're forsnickered.
Yes, well, bless them all and get forsnickered. I love him.
Oh yeah. I grew up on Mel Brooks. My dad was
You
a big.
use these?
No, I just saw those though over on Tiny Woo. Just saw those. Those are really cool.
I'm gonna use them. I've started doing the little. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm doing a thing that's. I want to try to do it. Oh, well, we've already had a few races.
Yeah.
I'm calling it FPV Pocket Pro-Am.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Remember RC Pro-Am
Yeah.
from Nintendo?
Yeah. Right.
So I couldn't come up with a better name, and I thought that would get some people.
That's a pretty good
like,
name. Yeah.
Hey, that's that like pocket pool or something. I'm good at that. Like, yeah.
Play that all day.
If you can pocket pool, you can pocket Pro-Am.
I got my son one of those little Flywoo. Was it Flywoo? Flywoo that makes those? The little RC cars?
Wasn't Emax?
Diatone.
Diatone. Thank you. That's what it was. Yeah.
Diatone.
Yep.
Yeah, Diatone. That's right. I got him one for Christmas. He's been loving it. He's been
I
having
really
a lot of
like
fun
it.
with
It's
that.
fun. It's
It
just,
is.
it's something different.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
something, there's some younger guys in our church that they can't quite get the tiny whoop stuff down yet.
Mhm.
I watched that one that you're letting your son and wife
Yeah.
and
The Stargazer.
son
Yeah.
fly. I'm just when it comes to teaching children,
Mhm.
it's not one of my strong suits. I was a youth pastor, but that was 13 and up.
Right.
And but this, if you don't really have to have any skill.
No, not really. Yeah,
To
my
drive
son
it
just
at all.
sat down and figured it out for the little RC car. And he
Yep.
was 5 at the time.
I don't know if you can see right there behind that one that was just lit up. There's a roll
Mhm.
that one.
Yeah.
There's a roll of black construction paper. That's what I make the ramp. It's actually
Oh,
back
okay.
behind my on-air sign.
Yeah.
That's what I make the road out of.
Okay. That's cool.
Oh,
Let's
neat,
do
yeah.
that with black, just a roll of. I mean, I've done it before with just taping down papers,
Mhm.
and it's actually just fun, man. I like it.
Sounds like it.
And I lean more toward tiny whoop races. I like tiny whoop races.
Yeah.
Set them up there in the church.
Yeah.
And
That's
But this
that
is
guy
something-
over there.
oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
all about it.
But I could set this up as something that other people that can't fly whoops can do.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they show up and can't fly,
yeah,
Bam,
and
got something to do.
they got the ones that are same size that are the drift cars, but they don't have the cameras on them.
right?
Ooh.
Jesse
Perkins.
Tiny Whoop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesse
Jesse
Perkins.
Perkins.
They sell them. I've actually got one in my cart, and he's like, "I think your cart fell safe just last night." I haven't ordered it yet, Jesse. Haven't ordered it yet. So, happy Father's Day to everybody, by the way.
Oh yeah. Likewise.
You
Oh
too,
yeah,
Jed.
happy Father's Day.
Likewise. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Jesse's about to be a daddy,
Yes, he is.
Yeah, hell
Yes, he
yeah.
is.
so I've got to go to church tomorrow and milk a few more people, so I can get. I'm joking. People are. This is not on my channel, but people from my church, they will watch. And they'll be like, "I'm milk me, huh?" Like, yeah, they'll laugh at me. They'll laugh. They know I'm a nut. So, but yeah,
That's good though. I really do appreciate that there's somebody like that that's running a church or running services, because it really shouldn't be so cut and dry with church. It should be a little more fluid, a little more fun. It feels way Old Testament.
Mhm.
I kind of like the New Testament feel a little more. A little new school.
the first 5 minutes of me standing in front of this church that I'm at now, which at that time it wasn't. I don't think there's maybe 4 or 5 people that were there when I came that are still there, but there's only 7 attending that church when I started.
Oh wow.
7 people.
God.
Yeah, and but I told him, I said, "Now, there's one thing I want you to understand, and I mean this. I'm more messed up than a football bat." I said, "You think about that, and then when you have questions about it, come and ask me, and I'll explain to you."
It's like a soup
And
sandwich.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Mormon. And now I've got a church full of football bats.
There you go.
Feels
How
like
many? How many do you have on an average? Any given Sunday.
about 30 to 40. We were running over 50 before COVID. We've lost some people. Literally lost some people.
Yeah.
Had some people die.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yep.
Did you guys have to shut down during COVID, your church?
We did for a little while. One, because COVID ran through our church. I actually quarantined. My daughter has a suppressed immune system.
Yeah.
And that's why I have I don't know if you ever see it. I have a camper in my backyard where if the funk is going around, I'll stay out there in the travel trailer and not bring it in the house. But I didn't have that then. And when I got COVID, I stayed in the Sunday school wing of the church and to keep my family from getting it. And, but yeah.
Did they all avoid it? Your whole family avoided besides you?
Oh, good.
That's good.
And they did. But see, I live in Tennessee, but the church is in Kentucky. And the governor of Kentucky tried to shut all that. Well, he did come out and say all churches are mandatory. You got to shut down. And the organization, the Church of God that I'm with, was like,
yeah, well, good for them.
Don't listen to that.
Yeah, good.
Don't listen to that. You do it when your people are ready to come back and all of that. So
yeah,
we did.
Good. Yeah, that was a shame. It sucked to see, because you'd see all these like big corporate businesses that was okay for them to be open and have hundreds of people in the store at a time. Walking around shopping for like fishing gear.
And I don't know if they did this up there where you're at. I'm sure they did. Here, every Walmart, wanted to, social distancing.
Right.
But they closed one exit. And they funneled everybody through one,
yeah.
In and out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So much of the stuff that they did throughout it was silly.
Did you guys get the cattle arrows on the floor? Make sure all the cattle travel in the right direction?
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention to that shit up here. Everybody would just be crisscrossing in the aisles.
No.
The best way in Tennessee and in parts of Kentucky, southern Kentucky, to assure that somebody will do something is tell them they can't.
Yep. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like it's like I'm in my 30s, but like I would see those arrows and I would walk the wrong direction sometimes just to be like, you know what, screw you.
Yeah, stick it up sideways. I'm going down this aisle.
The most litter-ridden parts of the highway is the parts that's got the no littering sign.
Yep.
All the rednecks like, I got this beer bottle, turn around. Bing, I got it.
Sign said no litter.
You drive, let me try. That's right.
Yep.
All I got's a Sonic cup. Well, that'll work. So, matches your Sonic shirt. So.
Oh, man. Oh, Lord. All right, where are we at? Where are we at, Chad? Did we miss any questions? I really hope I didn't miss any questions. But I want to make sure everybody gets it. We got to have you back on. I need to plan my questions out for DC specific things.
Or we need to have Pastor End DC on here.
There is not a chance in hell he would ever come on here.
We can't afford him. We can't afford him.
Exactly. That's what I mean, because he's not coming on here for free. There's no way.
I'm willing to do a pay-per-view.
We'll start a GoFundMe.
Martial arts.
A GoFundMe to get DC on here with Pastor.
Hey, that would pay off my travel trailer right there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't give him any money. Just kidding.
Oh no.
do not give that man any money.
It reminds me. I wish I was in StreamYard because I could pull the clip up from Naked Gun where
Leslie Nielsen.
Where Leslie Nielsen's like, man, that's so despicable. I can't believe you. And he's taking his gun. And no, it was Ed McMahon. He's taking his gun off. And he's like, just me and you, mano a mano. And the camera turns and you hear pop.
Yeah.
Bang. And then the little skinny guy standing above him. That might be what it's like if I challenge Justin to an MMA match. He might whoop me.
Oh, no, I got your back. I got your back. People are already putting money on that.
I've been whooped before.
That's all right.
So,
I'm sure he has been plenty of times. Seeing as both Pastor and OG is here, I've got the UK Whoop Championships next weekend, and I suck at racing. What can I do through the week to still suck, but not suck as bad?
Fly a bunch, first and foremost. Do they have the track in Velocidrome? Do they have the UK Whoop Champs track in Velocidrome?
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good start.
what's your rates also? If I've learned for me, of course I'm not a great pilot. I learned for me if I'm gonna trippy and stuff like that, I can't do that well with the rates that I race at.
That makes sense.
I race at around 500, about around 480 to 500 in the rates.
Yeah.
But it makes it for me. It makes it so much more precise of
Yeah.
hitting
Yep.
No, for racing, I've heard the lower rates are really good.
and Express LRS makes I can feel the difference in Express the latency and
His rates
just
seem like
file.
he just put them in chat. It seems like they're a little bumped up from like the default Betaflight rates with a little expo added.
That seems
yeah. See, I don't
high.
know all the actual stuff. People's like, "What's your actual rates?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's like 500."
Chop Whoops asked,
Total.
why do you hate DC so much? I don't know if that's to me or if that's to you. If you want to specify.
I don't hate him.
I was going to
just
say,
really don't like him.
I don't hate him either. I don't have a reason really to hate him. I just don't like the type of man he is. I don't agree with his practices, and I think that he is damaging the hobby more than he's helping
Absolutely.
it. So
To me, he is the air hogs of FPV.
I don't get that one.
The air hogs of FPV. You're talking about like the air hogs, like those little
Yeah,
helicopters.
Remember the air hogs helicopters?
Yeah. I had one of those.
I didn't.
For when I was in regular RC, air hogs was horrible because Walmart just pushed this stuff up and all of them flew like a bag of hammers. and it give everybody just a bad taste. Everybody's like, "Nah, I don't want to learn how to fly. I got this little coaxial thing from it. It flew good for like the first 2 flights." And then, well, it's because you paid $19 for it at Walmart. And I think how that hurt RC. I think that what he's doing, I don't hate Justin. I would help him if he truly needed help. That's just kind of person that I am, but I don't think he wants it, and I think he's hurting noobs. That's why I left. Let me clarify that. That is the main thing. Was innocent people were being taken advantage of, and sometimes sold quads for more money.
Yeah, all the time.
He would sell quads for more money than what you could buy them new for, just simply because he had it and everybody else was out of stock.
Yeah, right.
I mean, and I guess it's smart business wise, supply and demand. But come on, these are your supporters.
Exactly. Yeah,
you're selling to the people that are there to.
You're ripping off your viewers.
That's correct.
It's just
and not only your viewers, his patrons.
Right. Yeah, it's just dirty. There's dirty practices.
So I said it's like triple dipping. It's It's not even just double dipping. You're getting it for free, and then you're selling it to people that are already paying you money every month. That's 3 things.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I've won like 5 things from Painless 360.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I won, I was like, it was the targeting thing where you can put the little receiver on the front of your quad and it shows up in your OSD, so you can do like air-to-air war.
Right. Yeah.
It was that set. Thing. I have it.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them. And he was like, Marty, you're a winner. Because he has like a separate Discord channel.
Yeah.
And I messaged him and I was like, man, Lee, you can give that to somebody else. Don't ship that from England.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he wouldn't have it. He's like, you want it, I'm sending it.
Yeah.
And just a straight up guy, man.
Yeah.
And
I've never heard a bad thing about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for DC, but yeah, that's my beef with him. It sounds like both of our beef with him is right along the same lines. I feel like that's just most people's beef. I don't think, like, personality wise, he's a stick. He's not.
He's just bland.
He's there, personality wise. So there's nothing to hate him there. It's not like he's outlandish or like crass or anything. Yeah, you got to make your damn bed. But he's just a goofball, really. I mean, he's silly. But once you get past the silliness and you realize what his business model is, it kind of makes you a little angry. You're kind of like, man.
Well, and the part that bothered me too was the. I'm trying to find the word that I can diplomatically say, not arrogance, but
you like the smell of his own farts.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm so much better than all of you.
Ugh, gross.
Pro pilot.
Yeah, pro pilot, right? Yeah, exactly.
You are just the plebes on my Discord. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so have I.
Yeah, that power trip stuff is weird, man.
I feel like in RC, out of the different hobbies and stuff I've been in, RC is definitely one where there's that core group of like old heads in it that are big gatekeepers.
Yeah,
super big, like stuck in their ways, just
the worst.
Yeah,
but you really have that in everything.
That's true.
You
find that everywhere.
Car, even fishing.
Yeah.
You got some people that
for sure
pay $150,000-$200,000 for a fishing boat. And I got a John boat that I give somebody a tiller for it.
Yep.
So, but I think I experienced that firsthand when in airplanes. I never really got big into helicopters. I've got a few. You can't see them; they're over on another shelf. But the helicopters guys back before there was FPV, the helicopter guys was the Oh, I have a Futaba radio. I paid $900. Oh, really? How many channels is it? 8 channel. It's like, oh, I got this JR one. I paid $200 for it. 8 channels too. So when you flick your switch, what's it do? It changes. It's like, mine does too. But it's not a Futaba.
Yeah.
And still, there's flying fields around here that those old guys, man, you show up. Now they're letting Mavics in and Phantoms in now. And if you got a Matrice or a Spire now, they're like, oh yeah, but you break out a tiny trainer.
Yeah. Not having it.
Anything you turn on, do.
Get it out of here. Why do I hear ESC's initializing somewhere?
That's right.
Anything else?
Super low voltage pump.
Super low voltage pumps. Is there any other questions from chat or OG? Anything else you wanted to add in?
No, nothing else. I mean, I'm with you. I think I want to be better prepared for some DC questions next time.
Yeah, I have some more. I have some more about the same videos over and over. Same flight footage for 2 different quads.
Oh yeah, where you were just talking about that one the other day, Heads, where you said he flew it for like several days and then he posted the same 30 seconds.
He talked about how he had been flying this quad for days and how it was so good. But then it was a 20-minute review and it was the same 15 seconds of horrible footage that he kept playing over and over and over throughout the video.
The Prius. Yeah, the Prius.
I was like,
that's how we got talking about it.
How did you fly this for several days and this is the best you got and that's all we're seeing is just this? We're just going to keep seeing this clip the whole thing?
Yeah, if you got the stomach for it, there's like 3 or 4 back where he's in a park. Leading up to it, there's some guys LARPing in the park, which was actually comical.
Yeah.
He's flying and there's some furries out there in the park fighting with each other. And I was like, that's the best part of the whole video. Get more of the LARPers.
Well, not the furry thing, but I 100% want to LARP before I die. I want to go out and dress up like a knight and do some LARPing.
Teach their own. Teach their own.
If I could get my
One
wife
day
to dress up like Princess Leia. So, but no, I don't. No, that's simmer down TMI, right? But there's one part. But in that park,
yeah,
there's like 3 quads it was before OSD was real big, so I don't think they had any OSD on them. But it was the same flight footage for 3 different quads because he hits a branch at the same point.
Oh my God.
And you know, I mean, you're a much better pilot than I am, Heads. When you're flying out there, could you hit a branch?
I mean, if I'm out in the middle of
3
nowhere,
days in the road,
yeah,
with this, you know, with a
No.
micro quad,
no.
you know, I hit a pole and cracked the camera lens on my HD0, and I told somebody, I said I couldn't have hit that pole again if I tried.
Yeah.
Not straight on where it cracked the lens on the
Right.
the camera.
Yeah. You know, you'd have to. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll have to look back through these one day. I always feel like I don't want to like harp on it for too long on streams because I feel like some people get upset when I harp on it. I find it comical. I find it really funny to like laugh at some of the stuff that I find on his channel, just because that's how I view him. I view him as, like I said, he's not a threat. He's not a mean guy that I want hurt or anything. I don't like his business practices, but I also think he is hilarious at some of the videos that he puts out. So it totally doesn't surprise me that he did 3 separate quad reviews and was like, here's this quad, flight footage. Here's this quad, same flight footage. Here's this other quad, the exact same flight footage.
Yes.
That surprises me not even a little bit.
Yes. I mean, someone else found it and pointed it out to me, and I was like, yeah.
That's the type of stuff I would notice too.
They were showing clips of it on his Discord. They were showing clips of that.
God. I know some people in our Discord have gone over to his and headhunted and pulled some people and brought them over here and just told them to leave. They're like, don't get involved with this guy. Just get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't he start doing live streams for a little while?
He did. I don't know if he still is. He did one that I watched the whole way through where he was sipping out of a coffee mug very suspiciously. He said it was just coffee, but he drank coffee for like 2.5 hours on his stream.
Well, what was the one where he was playing the same like loop of the same song over?
It was that one. Yeah, it was that one.
That was the same one.
Yeah, it was like his Christmas stream. He was selling quads. He was doing like a flash sale on quads. So he was doing them on stream, selling them on stream, and he was like, "Oh, congratulations, you won this, that, and the other." But it wasn't even winning. It was sales on his website.
You won the opportunity to pay me some money.
Pay me a slightly less money than what I originally wanted to charge for, which he was charging like market value for all of them.
It says that song still stuck in his head.
Sending you something, just don't show the guy who told me this. Uh-oh.
Do you have a video of him saying the 90% of the time?
I have a sound clip here. Hang on, actually, I think I can play it so you can hear it.
Yeah, I think you played that for me the other night.
Hang on a minute, I got you.
Only bringing you guys the best of the best on this channel 90% of the time.
There it is. The 90% of the time just kills me because it's like if it's the best of the best, then that's the best of the best. There is no 90%. It's the best of the best. Like, I don't know. Anyways.
How can you have a best of the best every month?
Yeah, exactly. It's every video, every single one. This is a great one. You should check it out. You should go buy it. Make sure to use my code.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not going to do it. No, sir.
Yeah.
But
well, you know, I'm thankful, and I'll say this for Infinity Loops viewers, I'm very thankful of the men and women in my life that cared enough to tell me, you're full of crap.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
They're important. It's important. Yeah.
You know, dude, come on. You got people following you. Stop it, dude. And we won't have nothing to talk about.
Oh, man. Okay, never mind. Yeah, right. I'm not supposed to talk about the one on stream, so I won't read that one right now. Anyways, okay. I'm sorry. Enough DC talk. That's enough DC talk.
Yeah.
We've given this guy enough of our time. Doesn't the dude from Drone Cams work in another shop like Get FPV or RDQ? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's his main gig. I'm pretty sure that's what he does.
I said no, but I don't know.
He's just stealing quads from Race Day Quads and selling.
You can't stand him. Callisto says he can't stand him fake laughing into the quad at the end of every video.
Oh,
I know exactly what he's talking about, but I've never made the connection to like laugh at that.
Oh,
That's so
any
funny.
of you guys that are good at deep fakes, oh, you know what, or AI. You remember the video clip that they played of those guys that broke into Pyrodrone and stole all those quads?
Yes, yeah.
We
Yeah.
got to put his face on
They're
it. Got to, all of them in the same.
all the same guy. They're all just
Close.
easy.
It's like bottles of Snoke everywhere.
What's your favorite meal? What's the pastor's favorite meal? What are you eating? Last meal.
Wow.
You're going to meet the Lord, and you got one last meal you can get in you. What are you eating?
Boy, that's my wife's Thanksgiving dinner.
That's not a
Turkey
bad
and
answer.
dressing, and man,
Yeah.
see, I was losing weight and still losing. Thanksgiving, that's when I come off. And I ain't been on
Fair
that.
enough.
Today is when it started again.
Oh.
So was that
like,
November?
Yeah,
It's like 8 months. No big deal.
just a little bit of dressing and rolls and
Little stuffing, some cranberries.
gravy. Yeah.
Let me ask you: do you do cranberry sauce, or do you do the cranberry out of the can where you slice it into discs?
I don't do either one of them.
You don't do either one?
My wife likes this stuff out of the can where she slices it.
Yeah.
I'm a very picky eater on what I do eat. So
Okay.
I don't
represent.
I grew up
That's
on
it.
those canned cranberries. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love the
That's
poor
what
people
my-
cranberries. This is my favorite.
Now I grew up with my mother making cornbread dressing. In the South, there's dressing is different than stuffing.
Right.
But my wife's family grew up with stuffing that's made with breadcrumbs, and so for a while I was like, I like cornbread dressing, but now I like the way my wife does it now.
Okay. All right.
And it's
There you
still-
go.
And then the follow up to that was, what's the favorite? Do you have a favorite song?
a favorite song.
Yeah, one they're gonna play you out to. What song are they playing you out to?
I don't know. I don't know that I could put my finger on a favorite song, but my favorite artist is Weird Al.
No kidding.
It is.
That makes sense for you. That makes sense for you.
I love
I get
Weird
that
Al.
for you. Yeah.
Yes.
No, you want to laugh the whole way through, kind of
Right.
guy. So yeah,
Yep.
that Weird Al makes sense for you. Okay.
Yep, I love it.
We also have
Before-
wild turkey or deer. I guess I'm assuming that's to eat.
yeah, hunting. Turkey. I'd rather go turkey hunting.
You like turkey?
For one,
Would
because
you really?
I don't do ladders anymore. I'd have bad balance now. So
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're talking
I
about as far as like
ladders.
getting up into a deer stand kind of thing.
yep.
Just ain't
Yeah,
happening.
Here you sit. Best way to kill a turkey here is just sit on the ground, call them in.
Okay. Shit. God,
But I don't
wish.
hunt much anymore because if I have the time to do that, I'd rather be flying.
I feel that.
Well, what are your thoughts on beans on toast? Now let me preface by saying, for breakfast.
How about for none?
Right? Yeah.
For none.
You hear that, kids?
Yeah,
You keep that shit across the pond.
Yeah, I was probably
I can probably list about 1,700 reasons why.
Oh
I would
Lord.
I would answer that question, but
I'm right there with you. I am right there with you, Pastor.
Oh yeah, likewise.
For-
I can't do it.
No, just the thought of like the texture of the beans on the soggy. I don't want to talk about it.
It's no good. It's no good. I can't.
what kind of beans? I mean, I live
Doesn't
in the
matter.
South.
Literally,
Doesn't matter.
They do nothing to them. There's no like. It's not like baked beans. It's just beans. They're just beans. Like
It's just a mixed bean, a white bean, a pinto.
I think it's like a white bean, or it's like the size of a pinto bean. It looks like. I don't know if it's exactly pinto beans, but there's nothing to it. It's just beans. Just some beans on some bread.
beans on bread.
It's boring as hell.
Baked
Sounds like
beans.
some-
Kiss
That sounds like
says
something
it's
coming
baked
out of
beans.
Alabama, don't it?
Oh, it's
Y'all want
baked
some
beans.
on bread.
Excuse me, baked beans.
That-
Sorry.
Any better? I don't think you realize that. It doesn't make it any better.
It-
Like
not in my
prefacing what
mind,
type
no.
of beans it is. Like no, it's still disgusting.
I think just baked beans in general for breakfast just doesn't do it for me. Anyway, I flip it, I just can't.
There's just
See, I like ketchup. I eat ketchup on. I like ketchup.
Same here.
I don't like tomatoes.
But
I will not.
Same here.
It's like a blasphemy. Do not put ketchup on eggs.
Ew. Yeah.
I'm not a ketchup on eggs person.
No.
No, I'm not. Definitely not. Or hot dogs. I'm on hot dogs person.
Ooh, baked beans on brats. That sounds good. See, but that's a dinner lunch item. We're talking breakfast here.
Chili dog.
Oh yeah, chili dogs, man. When I was growing up, my mother was in the hospital a lot. She had a bunch of health complications, and so I was with my dad a whole bunch. And I had two brothers, older and younger, so I'm in the middle. And my father, so it'd be us four boys, at home when Mom was in the hospital. And my dad he'd always make it. There was two options on the menu. If we weren't going out to eat, it was either chili dogs, which can't say no to a chili dog, nope. Or it was what he called Bob, which it was baked beans, onions, and beef. It was ground beef, baked beans, onions, all in like a casserole dish, and then he would just put cheese over the top of it. It was like the most dad meal you can make. Yeah. Just dump a bunch of crap into a big dish and throw it in the oven for 30 minutes. But yeah, chili dogs, man. That was all. They always hit the spot. I'm a huge fan. Yeah, big fan of chili dogs.
Reminds me of I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, where he gives them spaghetti noodles with a couple hamburger patties and a hot can of ragu on top. It's like a circle.
It's like a circle.
Oh, my uncle, great man, lives right next door to me. Growing up, he would cook sometimes, and he'd be like, "Hey, Marty, come here, try this." And I'd try some of his concoctions. And one time he made beef stew, and hunks of beef in it.
Yeah,
I mean, look great.
Yeah,
carrots, peas, stuff like that you put in there. And I bit into it, and I was like, first couple bites was all right. Then I bit into something that was like just very crunchy.
Yeah,
and it was sweet, and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And he's like, he said, "I didn't have any potatoes." So I'm looking in the bowl, and there's these white squares. And I was like, "Then what is that?" He says, "Apple."
Apple?
He cut up hunks of apple and put it in beef
It looked
stew.
Close enough. It kind of looked like the potatoes.
It's a shame. He did.
Oh, Lordy.
Apples.
That would have thrown me so off.
No, kids, we are not still talking breakfast. Over here in America, our breakfast is usually very sweet, sometimes with a side of
we're
savory.
talking about beef stew, and he's like, "Oh, breakfast time. Let's get
delicious.
It.
Chili dogs. Sounds like a 6 a.m. treat to me." A little nice glass of milk and a chili dog for breakfast.
But kids is kind of broken like we are anyway. Right?
Oh, yeah, of course. That's why he's always welcomed here.
It might be people over at the pond saying, "He's not right.
Something wrong with that boy.
He spent too much time in the garden."
But the thing is like he's not though, because we literally just Googled like English breakfast, and it's just beans everywhere.
Yeah,
just beans all over the place.
Not good.
Like Austin Powers, baby.
Of course.
Now when I think of kids, I'm gonna think of Austin Powers.
We need to do some beans. We're behind here.
Oh yes, we do. Yeah, we need to do some beans, and
we need to do some beans.
You should have that as a giving level.
What do you mean?
If somebody gives like $25, you'll have a bean on toast.
Ooh.
No.
On toast?
No.
On a cracker.
So we just gotta pause stream and go make a thing of toast.
On a Ritz. A bean on a Ritz.
Oh. Gross.
He's like, "Shut up, Marty."
So what do we each owe 2 hot beans, and then you owe some gross, right?
I owe a stinky, yeah. 2 hots and a stinky for each. I'm not gonna go over to the wheel and spin. Why don't we do
double Reaper?
We want to both do Reapers?
Yeah,
this is gonna be a mess. Yeah, let's do it. Fine, for the pastor. Let's do
both do 2 Reapers.
The spiciest bean available. We're gonna do 2 of those. And I got to do a stinky one for Chad. I'll just grab a stinky one at random. We'll see what
Say
we get.
cracker.
Mike Bergman's here.
He thought we was talking to him.
Stinky bean. Let's go with which one have we done in a while? We haven't done the cicada one or whatever, the stink bug one in a while. Which one's that? Toasted marshmallow and stink bug. Got it. Okay, let's get one that looks really gross. Okay.
While you are getting ready, I grew up. Someone said they grew up with buns. I grew up eating hamburgers, not grilled hamburgers, fried hamburgers on white bread.
Hey, when push comes to shove,
it'd get grease right in the center.
Just get all moist in the middle of the bread.
Yeah, I've had hot dogs on white bread. It's not a good look.
When I was a kid, I used to take hot dogs and boil them because I was a kid, and then I'd roll them up in a tortilla, but put cheese and mustard on the inside and roll it up in a tortilla and spike a toothpick through it. Delicious. But
I remember when the newfangled microwaves come out.
Oh yeah.
You could put a piece of bologna in there with cheese on it and make its own bowl. Loved it.
I don't even own a microwave. We haven't owned a microwave since we moved into this house 4 years ago.
I don't have a microwave either.
There's no need. You don't actually need one.
Kentucky filet mignon. Bologna.
All right, OG, we're gonna tag team these beans. You ready? Where am I at for stream? Stream them over here.
Yep, I'm ready. All right.
So these are asbestos fiber.
Yep.
Thank you, sir, for the 20 overall. Thank you for that.
See if I can hold it. My fingers aren't.
You got it? Okay.
I'm trying to watch it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
Down the hatch. Oh God. Let's try to keep talking while we're eating these.
Yes.
Until the hiccups kick in. Oh God.
They're gonna come really, really quick.
If I had a plan, I could be river
That's a clip.
dancing right now.
What's that?
If I had a plan, I could be river dancing right now.
You should be river dancing right now.
Let me throw this in there too while we're at it. Here's a little toasted marshmallow and/or stink bug. We'll see what we get.
Oh, gross. Hiccups are already coming.
Oh, I got a stink bug.
I've got a good story for stink bug.
Oh, let her rip. Anything to distract me from this, please.
Yeah, let's get it.
Y'all have heard me talk that I have my niece she's 100% blind. She has glass eyes. She has prosthetic eyes. And she was eating. I think she was eating a brownie, and she thought that she dropped a piece of brownie on her lap, and she reached down and she felt what she thought was a piece of brownie. She picked it up, put it in her mouth.
Oh no!
And bit it, and it was a stink bug.
Oh no!
Oh, I hate that.
Oh my gosh!
Oh God!
She couldn't see because she's blind, and I think she started throwing up. So that's a big joke in our family that if you're watching, Kelsey, I told you I'd tell everybody you ate a stink bug.
Well, so did I. I just ate one too.
Well,
yes.
That's kind of like
he did it willingly.
Yeah, I don't know about willingly.
Oh, I'm about to lose it. We're good.
He agreed to it.
Oh God.
Oh fuck.
Oh God. That was horrible.
Somebody asked me. I said that I needed to do something like that on my channel, and I was like,
"Nah, don't do that.
I'm not that dedicated."
Yeah, don't do that.
We should do the. We
Don't
should
do this
pick
willingly.
we should pick a special occasion and do the one chip challenge for it.
I can't. I looked up the chip. There's no way.
No?
No, there's no way. I'd be hospitalized the next day. There's no way. I looked up just the
Crohn's wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ingredients of the in the spice in it. There's no way. I saw normal people getting wrecked over that thing. So I have 3 feet of my.
I was wondering how you even handle this.
These, for some reason, because I think it's pureed. It's pureed peppers that are in it. So you get a lot of the pepper, but it's not like eating a pepper. It's not like taking a bite out of a pepper.
It doesn't last very long. Like it's
already. It's almost like it dissolves by the time it gets to my intestinal tract. Like it's just kind of like sugary.
Like the
mess
heat is
by the time it gets
already chilling out.
Yeah,
Like
but
it chills out real quick.
if I eat something where it's like a solid and then it has to work its way through my intestinal tract, that's big problem. I can feel it the whole next day working its way through there.
Oh, not to be graphic. So the beans don't burn coming out.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No,
like
there's
if you
no
was to
difference.
eat a regular pepper, it's going to burn all the way through.
Likely, yeah. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done it since I got diagnosed and had surgery and all that. But
I don't.
I wouldn't recommend it probably for me.
Be like a lantern lighting the way down your intestines.
Yeah, pretty much.
My dad used to punish me and my brother for back talking by making us eat a pepper. So
we used to do
older,
Tabasco.
I was like, nope.
Tabasco.
I got Tabasco every now and then.
Yeah.
Yep. Or vinegar.
The bar soap.
Vinegar on your tongue.
Yeah, the soap was a bad
Although we
one.
were very unlucky because right around the time I was a kid, liquid soap was a big popular thing then. It had just started becoming a thing. Yeah. So we'd get the dial gold liquid and just
get a big old squirt on the tongue.
No.
Yeah.
Hate that.
I learned how to not swear around adults pretty quickly though. So
Yeah.
The lesson was learned.
That does it right there.
Yeah, you'll pick it up.
Oh God. Oh God. All right. On that note, we're bordering 1 a.m. here for us.
Yep.
I know it's not as late for you.
Right.
But we are at 3 hours and 11 minutes, and I think you are creeping on our longest episode.
All right.
So, firstly, I do have to say thank you for that. Thanks for hanging out for so long and chatting.
Thank you so much.
Hey, man. Anytime, guys.
Thank you for spilling the beans when I know you didn't have to. I do appreciate that. And don't hold me to it. I may come back and ask you some more questions when I think of them.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely going to have to have you back on for another one of these. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
Anything that you would like to plug, I do have your links in the description. If anybody's interested, you can sub to his YouTube channel. That's down there. He also has a Teespring where you can pick up some of his merch. I was going to wear my Fat Pastor shirt tonight, but it's in the wash. I wore it earlier this week. But he's got some great shirts over there.
I did take your advice. I put a thing on the Discord that's Ask the Pastor, kind of like the confessional thing.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And I said some questions may not be answered at all. Some may be answered with satire.
Yeah.
Or some, if I think you're being legit, I might truly answer it, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. That exists too. Anything else that you want to plug, though, before we go? Got all the bases covered?
Yeah.
And
thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
for sure.
And your streams are every week, and I believe it's Thursday nights every week.
Yep.
And what's the time you start?
At 7.
7
Central.
Okay, so 7 o'clock p.m. Central, Thursday nights. Fat Pastor on YouTube. Go check him out. Hell of a guy. He's got reviews over on his channel as well, product reviews, a little bit of freestyle, a little bit of everything. So if you're interested, mainly micro-focused, so a lot like us over here.
Hell yeah.
Fits right in. And thank you again, man. Thank you so much for coming out. We really do appreciate your time.
I had a great time.
Well, good. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad, man. Well, we'll be in touch. We're definitely going to schedule this out to do another one of these really soon.
Right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
chat.
Mike.
Thank you, guys, everybody, for being so supportive tonight. We really do appreciate that as well.
Yep.
Go check out all the Pastor's links. They're down in the description. Until we see you guys Tuesday. I'll see members Monday night for the movie.
That's right.
And then Tuesday again for a stream. OG, are you here Tuesday or me?
Likely me.
Okay, so likely OG on Tuesday. Be there for that.
No. I'm sorry. No. This Tuesday, no. I'll be Thursday.
Sorry, OG's full of shit. He's a giant liar.
Totally full of shit.
It'll be me here Tuesday, not OG. So
I forgot we're doing dinner with my parents on Tuesday.
So if you'd like to come by Tuesday, we will be here 9:30 p.m. And then make sure Thursday to head over to Pastor's channel and check out his stream, 7 p.m. Central. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you again, Pastor. We do appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you, and thank you for all the nice comments, guys.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad that they've been polite.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the last of it. Happy Father's Day to you fathers out there.
Yep. Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Be safe, and we will see you on the next one. Peace, guys.
Peace.
Take care.